Doug Walker. You're watching The Crazy House, Crazy McCormick.
What up, y'all? Welcome to the Crazy House. As you may or may not know, I am Crazy McCormick, and this is my show. And my glasses are crooked. I just noticed that. It's mainly because of the way that the hat is and the hugging and everything. So it is what it is. I guess I'll just have to deal with looking like a fucking dork. I'm used to that, though. So how is everybody? How's everybody's week? Mine actually was very fun. You know what I'm saying? So I know that a lot of y'all saw the fucking shit that I did over the week here on YouTube. Outside of that, though, work was actually pretty well, and there's been a lot of interesting things that have gone on throughout the course of the week. Dude, I know amidst all of the weird fucked up news that's been going on, come to find out Diane Keaton passed away. I don't know if it was today or if it was yesterday. If you don't know who Diane Keaton is, she's an actress. She was in the movie First Wives Club. She was also in some Broadway movies with Woody Allen and shit like that. Um, Never got married. I don't think she ever had kids. A lot of high profile fucking relationships. Uh, Beautiful woman. At the age of 79, she ended up passing away. Apparently, there was also some other, another thing though in that realm with the world of Hollywood, or actually, I should say Dollywood. Apparently, there was some rumor going around about fucking Dolly Parton that, like, apparently she was in the worst of health or something like that. I heard about it after the fact. I seen a TikTok video that Dolly Parton put up, and I'm like, holy shit, Dolly Parton is on TikTok? The fuck is she doing on my FYP? And the first thing that she ends up saying is, I know that there's been a lot of highfalutin things that have been said about me, or whatever the fuck she said in her southern drawl. Um, Even at her age, she can get it. I'm just saying. But she ended up saying, I'm fine, everything's fine. I know that there's been a lot of rumors going on about me and around me and everything, but I'm doing all right. She basically is still fucking reeling from her husband's passing, and she said that she, like, a lot of the news was like trying to say that she wasn't in the best of health, and it turns out that she has kidney stones. It's not kidney failure, but it's kidney stones. And then later on, while I was at work, I had to do a order where I had to pick up at Walgreens or CVS, one of those two. And on the National Enquirer, they showed the worst possible picture of Dolly Parton that they could find, and basically tried to peddle that bullshit and trying to say that Dolly Parton was dying of something. And I was like, no, fuck you, okay? She's gonna live forever. Like, if there's anybody that I feel could possibly beat Betty White's fucking high score, it's definitely her. And yes, like, this is all pop culture stuff and a lot of mainstream things that I'm talking about, despite the fact that this is a Juggalo related podcast, but I don't give a fuck because it's my fucking podcast. But we got to get into a couple of things. Another thing, so I had to take my daughter to the mall today. That's where I got the hat. I decided to stop at Spencer's Gifts. I also ended up uh, getting another hat, especially with it being the holiday season. Where the fuck is it? Oh, there it is. Now I saw this boy and I knew I just had to get it. How can you say no to this fucking hat? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you say no to this fucking hat? I passed up on getting a fucking Gurr in his puppy outfit ball cap. It even had the little ears on the top of the fucking hat. And I ended up getting Venom and, I ended up getting Maximum Carnage, and I ended up getting this. And not Let There Be Carnage. This is Maximum Carnage, okay? I'm a fucking old school gamer, and in the, like the comic books and everything, that's what it was. It was the Maximum Carnage. The first thing that I did, though, was I stopped over at the video game store because I'm at the mall and this is my fucking kryptonite. So one of the things that I ended up finding was Marvel vs. Capcom Fate of Two Worlds for the PlayStation 3. And of course, I'm going to get this because, well, it's Marvel and Mega Man is a playable character in this fucking game. And Deadpool is also a playable character in this fucking game. So why wouldn't I fucking want this game? You know? On top of that, I also ended up buying this. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate, the Deluxe Edition. Now, what's really cool, though, is that it also came with a pack of trading cards that I will never open. It comes with the fucking territory of the game. And on top of that, I also put $40 down on a new copy of the upcoming game Pokemon Legends ZA. Now, I actually have a friend of mine on Twitch. Her name's Coco Pelakisses. And she actually got a chance. She went to an event called Pokemon World a little while ago. And she ended up playing the game for about a half an hour. Got a good feel of the fucking game. Now, look, I'm a Pokemaniac. Okay, I've played almost every single fucking generation of Pokemon. So why wouldn't I get this fucking game? Not to mention it's going to be the first game that comes out on the PlayStation Switch 2, and I need a reason to fucking use that. You pre-ordered ZA? Nice. By the way, might as well go through the list of motherfuckers that are up in this bitch. Bizarre 17, Twisted Tree Line, 89. I see y'all up in here. Thank you guys for showing up. And those are the only people that I'm seeing in my chat as of right now. There might be other fucking people, but I wouldn't fucking know. I heard things. So, let's go ahead, switch it over, and we're going to go ahead and check out this fucking trailer, see what ZA has to offer. We're going to do that before we get into some Juggalo news, and then after that, we'll go into the rest of the shtick. What up, Twisted Shady? If they release the old copy of Pokemon games from the Game Boy. I did see a video that somebody posted about some of the possible upcoming future titles that are going to be coming out for the Switch and the Switch 2. And one of those games ended up saying something about some of the older Pokemon games. So it's a possibility that they might end up doing like a full fucking package of all of the Pokemon games that have come out since 1997. Whole lot of Twisted tonight. Hell if I knew. Anyway, let's watch this trailer. Please, Nintendo, don't sue me.
Get ready for a citywide adventure in the world of Pokemon.
This is... Okay.
Pokemon Legends ZA.
Yeah!
Our story is set in the thriving metropolis of Lumio City.
Okay, yeah. What in the hell? Okay, some game footage captured in engine actual gameplay experience may vary. So, okay, so they've got the fucking Eiffel Tower here, the Pokemon version of Eiffel Tower. Lumio City. Could this possibly be Paris? Nintendo won't sue me, but they're just gonna they could possibly do what Disney fucking did and try to block me for 48 hours. Cause yeah, there's an episode of the Crazy House that is not, as of right now, has no monetization, and it's the one where I discussed the shit about Jimmy Kimmel. And Disney fucking blocked my shit. Stephen Colbert's show tried to do the same fucking thing, but I won that. I actually won that dispute. I'm still waiting on Disney to fucking... I'm waiting for Bob Iger to suck my dick. Basically. Otherwise, I'm canceling Disney Plus. Fuck you.
Where an urban redevelopment plan is underway to shape it into a place that belongs to both people.
Well, I mean, yeah, there is going to need to be some sort of an urban development in Paris after all of the fucking farmers like laid shit all over the Capitol building. So yeah, that makes sense.
And Pokemon.
Yeah.
Here, you'll meet your partner Pokemon and set off on an adventure all your own.
Oh, come on, your starters are shit. I want a kitty. Okay.
Wild zones can be found throughout Lumio City. These habitats were specially constructed to give Pokemon places to live comfortably.
Oh, so the Pokemon get their own version of Chaz. That's fantastic. Okay, so it's like, are all of these abandoned buildings, or do the bugs fucking own the apartments, or like what the hell's going on?
Even without having to battle, you can catch a wild Pokemon by tossing a Pokeball its way.
Yeah, if it's a fucking weak one.
But watch out, some Pokemon might attack. When
That
happens,
Bunnelby is
it's
throwing
time to
shit.
battle. Moves are assigned to the 4 face buttons.
Now this I think is actually pretty cool.
After you use one, a move can be used again when it recharges.
Okay, see, like, I like that battle type system, so it doesn't give you a limited number of moves that it can use. And it's not turn-based, obviously. It's, you know, you can actually see it's very action-based. But it's like, okay, once you complete a move, then it has to recharge before you can use it again. Once the animation is done, then you can use another move while that other one is charging. That's actually pretty cool. I like that. That can actually change the dynamic of how it is that you want to fucking play the game.
Careful though, different moves recharge at different speeds, so consider which ones you want to use and when. Strategically planning out your next move is key.
See, that's pretty fucking fresh.
And keep an eye out for wild Pokemon.
Okay, that thing is Satan. Like yeah, Houndoom is the spawn of Satan, and this is the proof. Dark Pokemon my ass. That is satanic right there. What up, MC Wigsplitter?
Pokemon that could overpower your team.
Okay, so you have the capability to just run.
It might make sense to run.
Against a fucking Camerupt? Yeah, that makes sense.
Around town, you can relax with your Pokemon at cafes.
Oh yeah, with a Bunnery. Oh hey, that chick in the background's got a fucking Eevee. Okay, and we've got Ashley in the background there with her blue jeans and her fucking Ugg boots. The only thing that she's missing is a fucking pumpkin spice latte.
Try out the latest fashions.
This, I think, is actually pretty cool.
Hairstyles.
Rather than just looking like fucking Default Man in every fucking Pokemon game, you can actually accessorize, kind of like how you can with Pokemon Go.
And makeup. And even have an impromptu photo shoot at your favorite spots.
Really? Really? You're gonna do that dumb fucking heart thing like that? Nah, come on. I mean, yeah, in a way, this is kind of like aimed at kids and shit, and that's like that Gen Alpha thing to what this is for the Gen Zs and us for the Gen, you know, for millennials, you know? But like, that is the laziest fucking heart thing on the planet. Put some oomph into your fucking admiration there, bitch. And grandma's sweater, too. What in the fuck is that? Did you catch that in Florida? Like, when you look at the Pokedex for that thing, state of origin is Alligator Alcatraz. Of course it's gonna be a goth chick hanging out in the fucking graveyard with a haunter. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I probably would too.
When night falls.
Oh, nighttime now.
Trainers duke it out to climb the ranks of the ZA Royale tournament.
Oh yeah, this is when the trainers come out and you gotta fucking...
If you're spotted, trainers will challenge you.
Why is that kid out at night? You should be in bed for fucking school. Like, what the fuck?
To a Pokemon battle.
Finally, okay, so rollout
Sneak up on an
only is used
unsuspecting opponent
once.
to try landing a surprise attack.
Okay, I like that. Ugh.
Win enough battles, and you'll earn the right to challenge a tougher opponent in a promotion match.
Okay.
Everyone starts at rank Z, with the goal of reaching the top, rank A.
Hence the name. Ah ha ha ha. That makes sense. Okay, you, Arbok, go in his fucking nose hole and come out his fucking side hole. Like, I would just, like, if you could be that creative, just basically go through his fucking nose. Just whack-a-mole through all of the holes in the fucking hippo. It would be dope. And then shit in its mouth. That would be dope as fuck. I'm waiting for it. There you go. I decided to make that a fucking super chat. There you go. Shout out to Cali Green 2 Fresh for the $2 super chat. Whoop whoop. When Pokemon, it's all about Psyduck. See, like, me, I don't know. I like cats. So, like, I wanted the Litten. I wanted the Litten to be the fire starting Pokemon. And then also, I don't know, I guess you could count Eevee. I don't know, is that a cat? Is that like is it a cat? Is it a dog? Like, what the fuck is it? Puppy kitty? I don't know, but I like it. Oh, you got Psyduck tatted on your neck? Okay. See, I'll be honest with you, my daughter loves ducks. So, she's with you on that one. Me, I like the kitties. I like to grab the kitties 100%. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so back to what we're saying here. Okay. Okay, friends.
This is Hotel Z.
Oh my god, it's a
It'll
shithole.
serve as your base of operations,
It looks like a dilapidated Bosnian motel.
and you'll meet some friendly faces here.
Like, did they fucking get that directly from, fuck, what is it? What country am I thinking of? No. Damn it, I fucked up the joke.
Helping out at the hotel is either Urbane or Tawny.
Who?
An aspiring dancer named Lita,
She's on OnlyFans.
and a young fashion designer, Naveen.
She works at Balenciaga. I'm ruining this game.
Together, you'll form Team MZ in order to protect the city. You'll also enlist the help of other folks, like Hotel Z's owner, AZ,
And he's got a strong hand.
and the top detective in town, Emma.
No, it's supposed to be Joy. No, wait. No, she runs the Pokemon Center. Jenny. What happened to Jenny? What happened to Officer Jenny, goddammit?
They'll lend a hand in tackling some strange incidents in the city.
Team what this time? Oh, shit.
One of the cases you'll investigate is that wild Pokemon are mega evolving on their own and rampaging across Lumio City.
Awesome.
Together with your allies on Team MZ, you'll take on these rogue mega evolved Pokemon.
Oh my god, that's dope.
Your best bet against these formidable foes is to strengthen your bonds with your Pokemon and unleash mega evolutions of your own.
Well, yeah, you're supposed to.
Do you have what it takes to pacify the rogue mega evolved Pokemon?
What
And
in the
what's mysterious
fuck?
cause behind the rampages?
Dude, that is fucking chaotic. Like, did you see how many of those fucking ghost-type Pokemon were just kicking it in that fight area? Holy shit. Okay, here's the part where I don't care.
You can battle with up to 3 other trainers by connecting either locally or online. Gather
Okay.
your team and see who can take down the most Pokemon within the time limit.
Oh shit, it's a battle
Show
off.
your trainer
Big
chops
ass
by
Pikachu.
using all the moves and mega evolutions at your disposal.
Holy shit. Now, I'm pretty sure that this means that there are newer Mega Evolutions as opposed to, fuck, when did they start that with, like, wasn't it, like, X and Y? And then they also had it with, Scarlet and Violet and Sun and Rain, or Sun and Moon. Those starters are dog shit, and I don't like them. Like, there's not a single starter in this game that I actually want to have. Holy shit, some of these Mega Evolutions look like goddamn Digimon. Dude.
A whole new adventure across Lumio City is about to begin.
She just got a meth
Pokemon
pebble.
Legends ZA. Available October 16th. Only on the Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo Switch systems.
Oh, really? I thought that was going to be for something else. But yeah, so, like, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. It's coming out on the 16th, and I'm probably not going to be playing this, like, I'll probably be playing this game offline, and trying to fucking kick it with my friend Coco, alongside with this game. And when I went to the store to buy this. So I went to the store to go, I saw that it was available on pre-order still, so I was like, okay, how much is it? The guy's like, I don't know, 70, 80 bucks, something like that. I'm like, fuck it. I'll put money down on it. Wait a second. It's not digital only, is it? He goes, no, I'm pretty sure that it's on full card. I was like, goddamn right, because, like, digital only or key cards is ridiculous. Like, I refuse to buy any of these games if it's, like, card only. Because I'm honestly hoping that it's, like, the games that come out that are fucking key cards, will eventually be resold and not fucking just the key. Because those are annoying. I don't want to fucking deal with that shit. But yeah, so it comes out on the 16th. I'm going to start playing that offline on days that, I'm going to start alternating on Twitch, on days, off days, what little bit of time that I've got after I get home from work. And I'm going to start playing that a little bit offline. So there is that. So let's now get into some Juggalo news. We're going to get back into video game shit later. But I wanted to burn through some of the Juggalo news, some of the things that we've got going on. And the first thing that I wanted to talk about, and I'm sure you guys have already found out about this. This has probably been news, but it's news to me. Apparently, Whitney Payton and Insane Clown Posse ended up having a collab project with a song called Dark Side. I have not actually heard this. I haven't really given Whitney Payton a lot of chances. You know what I'm saying? But, like, I'll give it a shot just for the sake of it because it's fucking Insane Clown Posse. Although I do have to say I find it interesting with the selection choice of what version of Insane Clown Posse Whitney Payton decided to throw on the art cover. This is ICP from like fucking almost 10 years ago. Like you could tell it's Fat J, like really Fat J during the fucking second deck era. Like this is more along the lines of almost ICP theater. But it is what it is. So Twisted Treeline says that it's a garbage track. I do find it funny, like that. Why does this foreground just feel like AI? But this, and something tells me, by the way, something tells me that the only reason why this was able to come out and work the way that it did now is the fact that Violent J's locked down with Sarah Rusi, because that's Sarah's boyfriend. And that basically means that he has less than 0% chance of hitting it with Whitney Payton. And I'm pretty sure that he just didn't even bother trying. It's not because of the fact that Whitney Payton's a lesbian, but apparently Sarah Rusi just has him on lock that fucking hard. Because it's her boyfriend's collabo project with Whitney Payton. I really don't care for Whitney Payton. Honestly, don't know much about her, but the track was nothing special. No, all I know about Whitney Payton is she does this, and she looks like a fucking, she's got that wolf hand tattoo. I seen Sid mention it, and I had to listen the other day. Pretty basic track. Okay. So it almost comes off like it's fucking, like it's AI. Really, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, why would it surprise anybody if it is in fact like an AI job? Everybody uses AI. I mean, there's certain things that I have seen that people have made with fucking AI. Some of it's impressive, some of it's fucking crap, and some of it's crap that's meant to be crap. But there is more Insane Clown Posse news, and that this motherfucker that was supposed to have an early release date for the Gathering of the Juggalos, but didn't, is finally coming out. I believe it's actually out now. Insane Clown Posse Unaccepted Volume 1, the Wrestling Coffee Table book that Violent J and Shaggy and Jumpsteady have been raving about for quite some time. It's a 200-page book chronicling Insane Clown Posse's time in the professional wrestling business, going all the way back to their NAW days when they were in all of the major promotions that they were in: WWE, WCW, ECW, TNA, possibly Extreme Pro Wrestling, and the entire fucking history of JCW all the way back to when it was Hellfire Wrestling. And who knows if it might or might not have anything to do with some of the shit that they did with Stranglemania. And the book, I don't know if the book was written by or if the foreword was written by Sean Oliver. So if you don't know who Sean Oliver is, he does a podcast. I don't know if it's a podcast, but he interviews professional wrestlers. He has one thing called You Shoot. One of my favorite things of watching Sean Oliver interviewing Jim Cornette, and any time that he has to bring up Vince Russo, which he will, it sends Corny's piss to a fucking boil, and it's funny as hell. $65. It is now available on Psychopathic Vault, so if you're that much of a juggalo, then you're gonna fucking get it, because apparently to some juggalos, they think that merch is everything to juggalos, which makes no fucking sense. By the way, I might as well tell you this now. My family came back from vacation, so now I've got to try to keep the volume down. There's going to be no way that I can fucking have a crash out at the top of my lungs. I know it's unfortunate, but, whatever. I figured I'd at least let you guys know. So eventually, yes, because of the fact that I am a fan of professional wrestling, I enjoy the sport very much. And yes, I called it a sport, because I will, and I can, and I'm gonna. I will definitely be putting money down on this motherfucker. Now, I wish I could, but you gotta remember, I still live in my mom's basement, and I respect her rules to not fucking have a constant massive crash out when she's home. Because it's 9 o'clock, kids are trying to get to sleep, and I respect the household. I don't know if you could consider this next piece of material Juggalo or non-Juggalo related news, but just because of the fact that Twizzler was at Chronicon. And Jason Mewes too. Ah, crap. So Chronicon basically started this past Friday. Today was the final day of Chronicon. And, I had any and all opportunity to be able to go to this. I have interest in wanting to go to a Chronicon because I am a huge Kevin Smith fan. And on top of that, it was in like the outskirts of Chicago, Illinois. Only a 3-hour drive. 3-hour drive ain't shit to me. A good 300-mile drive is nothing. And I'd be down to fucking take it. Keep that phrase specifically in your fucking back pocket. We'll bring it out later. But the only reason why I wouldn't go is because of what's going on here at the top left. You got all of these fucking people, most of which have some sort of surrounding around Kevin Smith, right? Because, obviously Jason Mewes, Harley Quinn, Jennifer Schwalbach, Jason Lee, Ethan Suplee, Joey Lauren Adams, Michael Rooker, Renee Humphrey, Brian O'Halloran, because of all the movies that they did. Jamie Priestley was there, obviously tying up with Ethan because of, and Jason Lee because of My Name is Earl. You got Ming Chen, obviously, and I'm pretty sure that Fanboy and Steve Dave were there too. And Ming Chen being a co-worker at Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash. All of these people have some goings on involving Kevin Smith in the View-esque universe. Why the fuck is Twisted there? Was this like a deal that they did by getting like some of these people at Astronomicon? So it's like, okay, if we book these people at Astronomicon, then you book us at Chronicon. I mean, I get it, Twisted's kind of big nerds and shit like that, but it's like, okay, this is literally the one reason why I did not have a fucking prayer in hell to want to go to fucking Chronicon. No. I mean, as funny as that is, I wouldn't fucking do that because I don't want to make a spectacle of myself. I want to enjoy the surroundings of the spectacle. But I'm not going to put money in Twisted's fucking pocket. Like, that in and of itself is, my presence of being there is just enough to put money in Twisted's fucking pocket. Even, so like, my outlook on it is, by me not going, that's less money going to Kevin Smith, and that's less reason for him to fucking book Twisted next year. Instead, on the other hand, I'll save my money so I can go to Hollowicked, and then next week, and then next month, Grand Rapids Comic Con is going to be around. Yeah, so I'll be at Grand Rapids Comic Con November 14th to the 16th here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, at the DeVos Place, and here's the reasons why. Okay, not just because it's a local Comic-Con, but because of also some of the people that they're going to be fucking having on the show. As a matter of fact, let me open up a tablet here, and I'll show you exactly who all is going to be there. Some of these people, you're going to actually be absolutely impressed with some of the guests that they're going to have in this motherfucker. All right. So here we go. Yep, first and foremost, you have Amy Jo Johnson, right? Amy Jo Johnson, who is famously known for being Kimberly, the Pink Ranger, in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Last year was fucking what's-her-face, who played Rita Repulsa in the later series. Why can't I fucking remember her name? And I've got the shit right here. Right? Carla Perez. Carla Perez was there last year, who played Rita Repulsa in the movie, and I think in seasons 3, 4, and 5. She also came back as Rita Repulsa, I think, during Power Rangers in Space, and she actually flipped over to the good side. On top of that, we also have Paige O'Hara and Richard White, who did voice acting for Belle and Gaston in Beauty and the Beast. I don't care about that. Not that much. Then we also have almost the entire fucking cast of Has Been Hotel. We also have Jenna Davis, who plays Megan. Billy Zane. So let's see. Billy Zane, yes. So if you don't know who Billy Zane is, Billy Zane was the Phantom, Kit Walker. He was Match in the Back to the Future franchise. He was also, oh yeah, Here we go. Provided the voice of Ansem in the video game Kingdom Hearts. And on top of that, he was also the main villain in Titanic. And I believe he was also Lex Luthor, if I'm not mistaken. Billy Zane has been in fucking movies and shit like that for quite some time. Now, a lot of them you probably would be surprised with. And so far, we haven't come across Twisted now, have we? This is a star-studded event. Max Middleman, who voices One Punch Man. Brian Tochi, Francois Chow, Ken Scott, Robbie Rist. All people who were in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and also Ernie Reyes Jr. We're missing one person from the fucking original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cast. Outside of Paige Tercio, who played April O'Neil in the second one, we got Ernie Reyes Jr., who played Kino in the second movie. And we're also missing Feldog, who voiced Donatello in the first one. We've got D. Bradley Baker, Alice Krieg, the Borg Queen, Jason Douglas. He's been in a lot of shit. I just don't remember much of what he's been in off the top of my head. Ted Raimi, brother of Sam Raimi. Malcolm McDowell. This picture is actually from when he was in Star Trek. Last year, we ended up getting somebody from the original Star Trek series. Bobby Clark, I believe he's an ensign. So why would anybody care? Yeah, so it's Star Trek, yeah. Let's see, yeah, so... Yep, he was in Star Trek, the original series. Let's see... Clark and fellow stuntman Gary Combs played the Gorn captain in the original series episode Arena. But yeah, so basically we've got Ensign Ricky, Malcolm McDowell. That's actually pretty cool. Now check this out. We also got Bubba Ray Dudley. So we got Brother Ray, Bully Ray, Rhino, and Rhino was there last year, and I got to see Rhino do a Q&A, and then this year we got Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Like, how fucking dope is that? Now this right here, I marked the fuck out when I was going through the list today. This is actually the reason why I wanted to fucking talk about this shit. Is because Peter fucking Weller, bro. Peter fucking Weller. He played as Murphy in the first two, in the first two RoboCop games. In the first two RoboCop movies, he played as Murphy, Alex Murphy, aka RoboCop. And on top of that, he came back to reprise as the voice acting in RoboCop Rogue City for the PS5. I'm going to try to get this motherfucker to sign this. You goddamn right. Why? Because it's Peter fucking Weller, bro. And I don't care how much it's going to cost. I'm going to get Peter Weller to sign this motherfucker. How fucking dope is that? Okay. Heather Matarazzo, Kellen Goff. We got PCO coming in. Now that's actually pretty fucking dope, though. You know what? With PCO, I think I've got the perfect jersey to fucking wear when he's in there. How's about that? I think I'll fucking do that one, especially since it's got my last name on the bitch. Yeah, that's right, PCO. Oh, what up, Teasy? What up, Zodiac Wolf? So yeah, I recognize you, motherfucker. So that's actually pretty dope. And then we also have, what the hell is this? Okay. Oh, is that just yeah, that's just like a fucking thing. Whatever. Now, here's the other major reason why I am also going to the con. Just like last year, Channel Awesome's back. So last year, Doug was there, Malcolm was there, Tamara was there, and Brad Jones was there. Oh, what up, Cole? Now, I thought this was cool as fuck because last year I had such a wonderful experience talking to Malcolm, uh, talking to Heather, and talking to Brad. Like we talked about movies, we talked about music, I even talked to them about video games and juggalo shit. Like the only thing that I didn't talk to them about was fucking politics because I already know they're from Chicago. Ain't no fucking way I'm going to talk to them about my views on politics because reasons. But nevertheless, like I've been a fan, you know, I have been a fan of these guys for the longest fucking time. I have, and I love the fact that they're coming back a second time. So I have no idea what they have going on or like they have yet to set up the itinerary. I'm pretty sure that that's going to be coming up soon, but I'm definitely going to be there. So November 14th to the 16th, Grand Rapids, Michigan at DeVos Place. And yes, it is incredibly fucking cosplay friendly. It is furry friendly. So if you're in the area, come join. I'm going to be bringing my daughter with me because she likes all that nerdy, goofy shit. She loved the fact that almost the entire fucking cast of Has Been Hotel is going to be up in that bitch. I'd rather go to that, in all honesty, than go to Chronicon, just because fucking Twisted. So yeah, fuck that shit. Let's move on to the next thing. All right, so this is another one. Darby O'Trill, Return of the Shovel. So this is like a little mini tour that he is coming up with after Hallowicked, and it looks like each show is going to have Acetone and the Mutiny. So he's already, like, I looked up on social media, on Facebook and possibly Instagram. He's already got the fucking bombs ready. So we're going to go ahead and go down the line here. So November 7th at Joplin, Missouri at Club Nightlife. On the 9th, La Cruce, I don't know how to pronounce that. Tylenol. I don't fucking... La Cruces, New Mexico, The Lit Lounge. On the 12th, Tucson, Arizona at the Brick Box Brewery. Huh, I know somebody who lives in Tucson. Let's see, on the 14th, Las Vegas, Nevada at the Dive. And on the 16th, Salt Lake City, Utah at Liquid Joe's. I don't give a fuck, dude. I love the motherfucker who is coming up with the new Wicked. I love Darby O'Trill. Like, Darby O'Trill is dope to me. All right, so we got this other one here. Now, we already know that Insane Clown Posse is doing their what is this? Their third leg of their goodbye tour, the Insane Clown Posse Tours Tour, as I've been calling it, because they never gave it a fucking name. So this popped up on Kung Fu Vampire's Instagram. And I saw this on Figure Lovers, that's where I jacked it. But on Kung Fu Vampire's Instagram, it's got the same pictures of Joe and Joey, but his picture is ever fucking changing, like almost every era of Kung Fu Vampire. Even going back to the time where he was bald and he painted his entire head white, had the red fucking sunken eye look and the really long spike in his goddamn lip. Like the the first time anybody in our culture had actually seen Kung Fu Vampire. You know, and I think that's dope as fuck. I have been so out of the loop for anything Juggalo, ICP, M&E, Chapter 17, etc. The most recent shit I saw was the stuff with Gmo and AXE and Twisted are now beefing. So, yeah, basically, Gmo beat the shit out of his wife, and nobody knew about it until, like, after the fact. And so when Twisted caught wind of it, they fired Gmo Ski, and now Gmo Ski is trying to sue them to try to get his name, his likeness, his fucking masters, and $75,000 and all this other stuff. And I don't think he has a fucking case. Like, they fired him because he is a dangerous person. You know what I'm saying? And then as for AXE, they fucking they finished up their contract, and then as soon as they left, they dissed on Twisted, basically fucking accusing them of the same exact practices that they left Psychopathic for. Like, they didn't pay Al Azul Ulu for 2 fucking years based on their royalties and whatever. And when they finally did get paid from them, it was basically the same amount as a dry cleaning bill. So now they're back on LLE doing their own thing with the super famous Funtime guys, and they're just gonna do stuff on their own from now on. And now I can technically fucking listen to them without Twisted getting any money out of them. Anything from now on, I'm down to fucking help out with Zool, even Camp. Okay, so with Kung Fu Vampire, these are the 3 shows that they are going to be doing with Kung Fu Vampire. And first and foremost, August 22nd, which is 10 days from now, Anaheim, California, at the House of fucking Blues. On the 23rd, Las Vegas, Nevada, at the Brooklyn Bowl, and then on the 24th, going back to Cali at Riverside, California, at RMA. Now, this I find interesting because there was another video that I saw that basically somebody just had to fucking bitch about the fact that ICP's not coming to their neck of the woods. Yeah, you know what's about to happen. Yeah, that's a very nice intro, okay? That's a very, very interesting intro. It's not as glossy as this one. Hold on a second. Where is it?
This is Doug Walker. You're watching The Crazy House, Crazy McCormick.
Money well worth spent. And it wasn't even a fucking super chat. And you can actually hear Doug Walker. But anyways, yeah. Here we go.
And I'm fucking pissed off at Insane Clown Posse right now.
See, was I not wrong about fucking how I described him in my fucking video that I did on what was it? Monday, Tuesday? I fucking get.
And I don't know who I'm pissed off at. I just know I'm pissed off.
Why?
Now, we have West Coast tour dates right here.
Uh-huh.
October 19th in Portland, Oregon. All right, hey.
Yeah, I wonder how that's going to go because of things happening in Portland right now. Do you think that people might actually stop doing what they're doing in Portland just to fucking go to an Insane Clown Posse show? That's going to be an interesting fucking turn of events. I'm sorry, I can't help but fucking laugh at this shit.
Love for Portland. We got October 20th in Garden City, Idaho.
Uh-huh.
Right? We got October 22nd in Anaheim, California.
Yep.
I'm from California. That's great.
Yeah.
But that's 400 miles.
Aw. Light work, fam. Light work. I mean, for me at least. I mean, motherfucker, I drove all the way to Boston. Right? I drove to Washington D.C. I drive to the gathering of the Juggalos. I drive to Detroit. I drive to Chicago. I drove all the way from Grand Rapids, Michigan to Marquette in the Upper Peninsula at the very tip top of the motherfucking state. And that was 5 hours. And on top of that, 5 of those miles, I fucking drove over a goddamn lake. Scared out of my fucking mind. Because it's 1,000-foot fucking drop into a cold death trap. And it's windy. But he's not going to drive 400 miles to go to a show.
October 23rd in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Okay.
October 24th in Riverside, California. Wait a minute, that's also 400 miles away, both in SoCal.
Uh-huh.
I understand there's 24 million people in Southern California in these 10
Yeah, unfortunately, half of them are fucking homeless now. Thanks, Gavin.
lower counties. But there's a thing called Northern California with 16 million people.
Uh-huh.
8 million right here in the Bay Area.
I mean, yeah, the logistics kind of make sense. They just weren't fucking booked in NorCal. And they're only on their 3rd leg. You're forgetting. There's also a 4th leg that might be showing up.
We like ICP too.
I know. You know, Cottonmouth Kings and all that shit.
October 26th in Denver, Colorado.
Uh-huh. Shout out to Don Chaos, by the way. And also, shout out to Roxy Riddlebox, both of them from Denver. Homies.
October 28th in Wichita, Kansas.
Yeah, they're
And October 29th in Columbia, Missouri.
Yeah, and then on October 31st, Detroit at the Masonic Temple. And I'll see you guys there, too. I'll be there.
That's cool, but what about us?
What about you?
No love for NorCal. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who's like, what the fuck?
What up?
So who's putting these shows together? Is it Joe Bruce? Is it you, Joe Bruce?
Oh my fuck. He's the talent. Okay? And I'm pretty sure that there has not been a single fucking time that Joe Bruce in the entirety of his career has actually booked his own fucking shows. I'm pretty fucking sure of it.
Is it you, Jump Steady, aka Rob Bruce?
Nope. He does booking for Ninjas in Action type fucking dealings, but not in mainstream tours.
I would like to know, because I got a bone to pick.
Okay, so the dude's name is Nick S., and he works for AAC Booking. I looked this up. See, Insane Clown Posse has become what you would consider to be a high-profile act. And up until the point when they first got signed to Jive, I believe it was Alex that was in charge of the fucking booking. And those were all just one-shots. Those were all one-shot shows. And they were all fucking local. So like he had the bigger know-how on how to get in places like Harpo's and St. Andrews Hall, the Magic Bag, local areas in Detroit, Michigan. So ever since, I would probably say that they continue to do the same thing, but ever since Mike Wood, they have not booked themselves as Psychopathic Records, and they have hired booking agencies in order to book these shows. So it's not at the fault of Insane Clown Posse. It's not at the fault of Jump Steady. It's not even at the fault of Billy Bill. It is at the fault of the booking agency. That's how the music business is run. And I'm pretty sure I could tell you more about it, more as this video continues.
We got ICP September tour. Began last week between the 9th and the 29th. I believe 6 shows remaining.
Yeah. Like, I just can't get over the fact that he thinks that it was Joe and Joey that are in charge of the fucking booking. Hold on a second. Yeah, I did that. Moving right along, because I'm sure that he has more bones to pick.
So, I was looking forward.
Did he just fart?
To getting a concert, because the last one that Insane Clown Posse came to was Hallowicked 25th anniversary in 2018, and I was in the 3rd row, right in the middle.
Okay. Yeah, that was like a whole Hallowicked based tour, you know, but it wasn't Hallowicked. Hallowicked only happens in Detroit, and so this was 7 years ago. After you were in prison for 10 fucking years.
Painted up.
Uh-huh.
Fago shower washed off all my paint.
Yeah, that happens.
Time of my life.
Right. I mean, I don't blame him.
And then Shaggy, we had a 2 Dope solo tour right after that.
Well, you see, Swill, I have, like, he had questions. And me being the fucking superior elite jug, I have the answers.
In early 2019.
Uh-huh.
And then we had the 3-Headed Monster tour up here in 2023 with Violent J, Esham, and Ouija.
Yeah, I mean, they came to Grand Rapids, Michigan as well, which is very unusual for the location specifically, because normally Juggalo shows would end up being either at the Deltaplex, which is now closed, or the Intersection, which is kind of like fucking, I don't know. It's become more bourgeois. You know what I'm saying? So instead, they ended up fucking going to this one location called the Pyramid Scheme, which I was shocked at. Because, like, they've never, like, nobody in Psychopathic, I don't think, has ever fucking performed there before. Maybe I'm wrong. Or maybe they did and fucking, I just wasn't able to go because I was broke at the time. I don't know. But hey, I mean, you have 2 shows. Granted, they're 400 fucking miles away, but you've got 2 shows. Gas up, homie. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Isn't gas like $25 a gallon or something in fucking California? I don't know. Gavin Newsom's fucking you over.
But no Insane Clown Posse unless I missed something. I heard there was one, but I'm not 100%. I heard there was like a Malenko tour, or I must have just been a busy year for me and not paying attention if that really happened.
Juggalo Collectibles with that $4.99 saying, what did I miss, Crazy? Quick synopsis at dinner party, gotta run MCL. All right, everybody give Juggalo Collectibles a fucking like. Heart that shit. Hells yeah. So, oh, and he threw diamonds in the chat. Holy shit. That's fucking fresh. All right, so you didn't miss much. He basically was like, I don't know who I'm mad at for booking this. Who should I be mad at? Should I be mad at Jay, Shaggy? Like, who the fuck should I be? No, they're booking agency. All right, they're the ones who fucking booked this. It's not any fault that Psychopathic is doing that shit. Is basically it. And yes, I did actually unblock Conservative Juggalo, but I think he blocked me. So I don't know what the fuck's going on.
And here's another thing I'm pissed off at.
Oh,
That
oh yes, be angry. Oh yeah, angry.
show that I went to,
Uh-huh.
those shows were like $30,
Yeah.
$33, whatever.
Uh-huh.
That's it. $33 for Hallowicked. Now I'm seeing shows between 50 and $100.
Buy or buy. I mean, Jay said it himself, right?
The Gathering used to be $100 and now it's $300.
150 actually.
And now you guys are charging $300. Like, I thought being a juggalo was for poor folk.
Okay. Allow me to explain to you, for one, how inflation works. Okay? Before you were in prison for 10 fucking years, you know what I'm saying? The value of the dollar was worth much more than it actually is now. If you remember COVID, when we all got them fucking stimmies, that money isn't coming out of nowhere. They had to print more fucking money in order for everything to fucking work out during COVID. That's where all those COVID checks came from. And the same thing goes for unemployment and all that other stuff. But what they never explained to you was that free doesn't mean free. All right, that has to come out of somewhere. So what they have to do is they have to stretch the dollar out a little bit more, which basically means that decreases the value of the fucking dollar, right? You know, like 30 fucking years ago, like there was this one thing that I saw back in the day, and this is how inflation was explained to me. Imagine you stick $100 bill underneath your fucking couch cushion, right? And you let it sit there, you forget about it, and then 30 years later, you lift up that couch cushion, and there's $21. That $100 bill that was worth $100 then is now worth $21. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense to you. Okay, so when the value of the dollar decreases, that means that you have to have more money in order to get your dollar's worth. Okay, that's how inflation works. Okay, and over the course of time, when you have to print out more money because you have to get more loans from the fucking from the treasury and shit like that, whether it be for uh cash advances or whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Or stimuluses or things of that nature. The value of the dollar gets stretched the fuck out more. And that makes it so everything goes up in value. That explains why when I was 16, a Big Mac meal costed $2.99, and now it costs $10.89. Okay, it's gone up that fucking much since I was 16. And the same thing is going to be said for the value of concerts. Now, you also have to look into the logistics of the location. Okay? First off, you have to take a look at the fact that Insane Clown Posse themselves need to be paid for their fucking shows. All of the acts that come with also have to get paid for the fucking shows, which is why when you go to these shows, the only people that actually have like lights and all the special effects and the background shit and all that other stuff is Insane Clown Posse. Right? Everybody else basically has a black tarp in the background to cover up everything. And that's all that they fucking get, and a spotlight. For the most part. But then you also have to take a look at how many people are going to be filling in the specific venue. How many tickets are they expected to sell? They also have to take a look at merch purchases, which also fucking attribute to the amount of money that the artists are going to get as well. On top of that, you also have to pay the fucking venue for use of their area. And some people pay out the fucking ass. So while, yes, going to a place like, in my case, what up, Don Chaos? Yo, I shouted you out. Much love to you, brother. Anyway, so in my case, seeing the Three-Headed Monster show at the Pyramid Scheme here in Grand Rapids, while that could possibly cost $30 and fill a venue of 2,000 people, maybe more, I don't know how many people are actually able to fit in that motherfucker, but you take a look at that versus, say, the Masonic Temple. And on top of that, the Masonic Temple is the one who sets the prices for the tickets. Yeah, I have no problem with it. I don't have. I think I have links disabled though, but you know, it's cool, man. Like you can always talk about fucking Swill's edition and shit like that. I got nothing but love for Swill. So, anyways, yeah. So, like, take a look at the pit at the Masonic Temple, right? $178, and that's including taxes and fees and all that other shit. I took a look at the prices for the exact same seats that I got last year at the Masonic Temple. They went up $50. So the opera seats on the sides of the venues are actually $200. I got them for $158 last year, so they went up $50. Nosebleed seats in the balcony are also costly. The fucking bottom outer bowl seats also went up in value. But that's all. But you have to take account of inflation, cleanup, paying the artists, all that shit. It's the same reason why the Gathering of the Juggalos goes up like $5-10 every fucking year. They put more. They try to do what they can to try to put more into the Gathering every year. Plus, they have all of these other artists, especially with like the Gathering of Legends being $300. That made sense. With it being 25 years of the Gathering, they knew it was going to be a hell of a big draw. And think about that, 10,000 people at $300 a head for the entirety of the fucking show. You've got 3 different stages that have multiple fucking artists. You have the, and then on top of that you have the wrestling shit, and you've got to pay for the whole fucking park. All that shit, dude. That's 300. Is that $3 million? If my math is correct. Is my math correct? 10,000 times 300. Does that sound about right? $3 million fucking dollars? I'm assuming it was 10,000. Yeah, let's open up the calculator. I'm just going to put that right there. So yeah. At $300 a head, yeah, my math was correct. $3 million, approximately $3 million that they fucking earned just for the Gathering of the Juggalos alone. I think that actually should answer the question that some people would say, because I've heard rumors that like former members of Psychopathic, like some former workers at Psychopathic have actually claimed that Violent J used to complain about the Gathering book and be like, why do I do this every year? I don't know, for $3 million fucking dollars. That's the reason why you do it every year. And yes, it's going to go up again next year. It's going to be like $305, $310. It's just the nature of the fucking beast, bro. Because they want to try to put more in, but you have to spend money in order to fucking make money. Welcome to capitalism, my friend.
richie bitchies, you are the ones, they're the ones you rapping about. But now,
No. See, and this is one of the other reasons why I decided to fucking bring this video up. Dude here is like trying to fucking say, I thought this was all about fucking scrub life and shit like that. Bro, we are in our fucking 40s. How does that not register? Okay? You can still be a scrub at heart, but you have to understand things like bills and shit. You know what I'm saying? But you also have to understand that over time, over the span of time, ICP has actually been more favorable in recent years. You know, when I go out and I drive and shit for my fucking job, I can't tell you how often people will see like the t-shirts I wear or the jerseys. Like, dude, I got shouted out 3 times by different people saying they liked my shit. Yesterday, I had to fucking do a pickup at a grocery store, and there was a lady who was literally swooning at the fact that I, being a juggalo, was there because she said that she had never seen a real juggalo in person. And she's like, I'm kind of fucking fangirling over you on this. And I was like, awesome. She was cute. I would have hit it, but still, I was at my job. But I took the time to actually fucking explain a thing or two to her, nevertheless. The thing, though, is like, yeah, ICP is becoming a little bit more and more of a commodity. Now, here's the thing about the whole scrub thing, you know. Violent J himself is fucking rich by the same standards that he used to look at the people when he was working as a caddy. Those people were rich in his eyes, and in his eyes, he is now on that level. Now, that don't mean that he ain't a scrub, but here's the other thing too. I understand the logistics, and I understand the inflation. But do you really think for 1 second that at the end of the day, Psychopathic Records is not a business? And that they're not going to constantly take hit after hit after hit, loss after loss after loss, financially speaking. They have to have money in order to keep a business afloat. I understand that also, being an independent contractor. If I don't have money to put gas in my car, then I can't use my car to fucking work. So that kind of ends up becoming like a priority. Putting gas in my car, oil changes, maintaining my vehicle in order to continue doing my fucking job and making more money. So I can pay my bills, put food in my mouth, clothes on my back, Trojans on my dick. These are important fucking things. And Shaggy and Jay and Billy and Rob are all going to do the same fucking thing. They're not going to try to bring the prices back down, especially since the value of the dollar has been stretched out to its fucking peak limit now, just to accommodate your broke ass. I'm sorry, but not sorry. If you're unhappy about the fucking prices of the fucking tickets and you really want to go to a show, even if it's 400 fucking miles away, go buy yourself some more money.
you got to have $300 to get to the gathering and $100 for concerts. And
yeah, and you have a whole year to prep for that shit. Bro, I spent $3,000 on accessories and food and camping equipment, the ticket, merch, all of that. I spent $3,000 at the gathering alone. And you know why? Because I work my fucking ass off to do that shit. Also, it's a good tax write-off.
You know, well, there goes all my merch money.
Oh, well. But you gathered, right? You know, you're bitching about fucking not gathering. Did you know that there are motherfuckers that live in Montana that will actually walk all the way to the fucking gathering of the Juggalos just to try to sneak into the motherfucker? And if they get kicked back out, then they stand at the fucking entryway, basically fucking e-begging in real life until they get the money for the ticket. Like, that's why we kept on trying to say when Boy Blue was like saying for fucking over a decade, it's my dream to go to the gathering of the Juggalos. Well, then fucking go. Oh, but I need a ride and I need a place to stay. I need money for food and all that other stuff. It's like, bro, you go to the fucking gathering of the Juggalos, people will accommodate you with anything that you fucking need. You're the Boy Blue, all right? People know who you are. Even though we all knew that Blue was a broke-ass piece of shit, people lost their fucking minds when he finally decided to gather. People were giving him food and beer, probably mostly beer, because despite Blue being a piece of shit, we all have the same mindset about the Boy Blue, and that is that he's the type of dude that we want to fucking have a beer with. So it's like, okay, you're sitting here complaining about all of the fucking financials about what it takes to fucking go to the gathering, and half the time people will fucking break their cars down just to fucking make it, and then have the time of their life, and then try to figure out a way on how to get home with a broke-ass car. Hell, I'm pretty sure there was this one guy I heard about in 2012 who ended up getting to the gathering of the Juggalos by any means necessary, only to having to figure out the hard way how to get back home because, you know, he stole a bunch of shit and we destroyed his fucking car. And then it turned out that it wasn't his car, it was his girlfriend's car. And then it turned out that it wasn't his girlfriend's car, it was actually in her grandma's fucking name. Oops. But up until the point where we ended up beating the shit out of him and destroying his car, I'm pretty sure that he had a time of his life at Hog Rock. Just saying. Anybody who wants to go, is willing to go, is going to fucking figure out a way. Failure is not an option with some ninjas. And you're on the internet complaining about it.
You know?
Oh yeah, and aren't you the same guy that fucking said something about fucking merchalos? Like there's two types of juggalos. There's like juggalos that are down for the cause, and there are juggalos that are just down for the fucking merch. And yet, I just heard you say, well, there goes all my merch money, complaining about merchandise, fam. How dare you? Seems a little hypocritical, if you ask me.
And then these meet and greets, man. I paid $50 for this VIP, the fuck off motherfucker tour.
What a waste of fucking money.
$50 for a VIP, which is great. That's
Hey, I almost got ran over by Violent J in a golf cart for free. So, I'm set. What up with that $4.99 super chat? Much love to you, brother. I appreciate you. Everybody give him a like. Like that shit, god damn it. I am from another country, and I am super grateful to have seen ICP 8 times already. Given the dollar, it is worth it. I know, right? And I've seen you twice already, fam. By the way, I miss you. I miss you and your wife, and I can't wait to see you guys again. Are you guys going to be in Detroit? I hope to see you in Detroit. If not, I might see you guys in Orlando. I don't know what's up. We need to fucking just get on the fucking horn or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, much love to you, brother. I appreciate you. Anyways, yeah, so he's complaining about VIP purchases and shit. Brother, there are motherfucking people who are willing to pay $150 for that shit at the gathering. Me personally, I just look at it and I'm just like, dude, what a waste of fucking money. Like, to me, that's a waste of fucking money. To do the meet and greets and shit. Especially since I can fucking go to the gathering and eventually I'm going to bump into Darby O'Trill hanging out in the fucking, you know, in the sea of ninjas and get love from that motherfucker without having to spot him a 50. You know what I'm saying? That's why I like Darby, because Darby's definitely one of us 100%.
A good price. Didn't get my CD because I'm in California. You ran out of albums. Too dope. You still owe me. You owe me something, man.
Dude, a slap in the fucking face for saying that type of shit. That's what he's gonna fucking give you. Just accept it or shut it.
But now I'm seeing meet and greets are like 100 plus.
Yeah, as I said, what a waste of fucking money. I mean, unless you're fucking gonna use it as a tax write-off, it's a waste. Hell, I could use it for a tax write-off, and I'd still say it's a fucking waste.
And even more, 200, 300 big baller passes. Yeah, it costs $1,000 just to do your thing. At,
500
at the gathering now.
$500. And on top of that, like it doesn't, dude, like those are like the name fucking speaks for itself, you dumb motherfucker. Big balla sites. It's been like that, all right? They've always been astronomically fucking expensive. And they're that way for a fucking reason. Because that's where a lot of them fucking, motherfuckers that are that dedicated and have an RV and have lived a fucking good life and shit like that. But you really, Jesus Christ, bro. No wonder why I fucking slammed you this past week. It's like all you're doing is fucking bitching, and it's almost like it almost fucking comes off like I've been down long enough. I deserve this shit. No, fuck it. No, welcome to capitalism. All right, earn your fucking keep, bro. Go buy yourself some more money.
Now, I'm still pissed off. Let's get into it, man. I'm pissed off, Insane Clown Posse.
Yeah, you could just see how pissed off he is with the fucking blank expression on his face.
And what am I pissed off about?
See, you don't even know.
You said you were trying to get the gathering out west.
Oh, this old chestnut.
Couldn't because of the gang label. Everyone says, nah, you can't do this gathering because it's a gang rally out west, which I understand. Trust me, I understand.
Because, he was in prison for 10 years.
More than most. What that's all about out here. However,
I don't know if anybody knew that.
You can't find somebody. You did find someone in 2017. You did a gathering in Oklahoma.
Yeah, so here's the fucking story about that. They made the premature announcement that they were going to be going to Denver or somewhere in Colorado. We're going to the mountains, y'all. I remember that seminar, right? Now, Jumpsteady starts setting up and booking the shit at the very beginning of the year, right? Well, here's the problem. They had the fucking location secure, and then, kind of almost last minute, they ended up pulling back on it because because I'm sure that they were getting pressure about all that other shit. And they fucking pulled that shit back. So they tried every surrounding area, I think within like a 500-mile radius. Everybody shut them down because of the whole gang situation. And I'm pretty sure that they tried even California, and nobody in California would take them. Nobody in Nevada would take them. Nobody in fucking Idaho would take them. Idaho, bro. Like, they tried to do everything they could to fucking have a West Coast gathering. They tried Missouri, and then they finally got a spot in Oklahoma. And even the people of Oklahoma did not want them to fucking be there. And then they also ended up, I don't know what the fuck, we all thought that it was just basically going to be the same thing as it was like in Hog Rock and Nelson Ledges and fucking Crystal Forest and any other gathering that we've been to where it's like, okay, it's privately owned land, anything goes, we could do all the fucking alcohol we want, we can do all the drugs we want, we can have a party, right? Well, apparently that didn't work out because cops ended up fucking showing up in Oklahoma. And ninjas were getting fucking arrested. Not to mention, I think some of my friends, whether it be Mac and Hose or Church, ended up fucking saying that you had to park almost 2 miles away from the fucking venue. Then you had to walk under a bridge and walk to the entrance. It was excruciatingly long. You're in the fucking desert. People are getting dehydrated just to try to trek there. And then you go there and the cops are fucking with people. Because it wasn't private, I guess it wasn't privately owned land. So in that case, fuck Oklahoma. And I guess in a way, that's something that we can learn from that. However, the whole point of it, like what you're pissed off about, isn't something that was in their control. Because of how bad things were during that time with the whole gang situation, everybody was getting fucking knocked out left and right. Like they were not, like they were getting denied all across that fucking West Coast because of the gang situation. So when Oklahoma accepted, even though it sucked and they knew it was going to suck, it was either that or miss a gathering. And that was the last thing that they wanted to do, was miss a gathering. Because a lot of us juggalos anticipate going to the fucking gathering. And to say, well, we couldn't secure a location would have pissed off a lot more fucking juggalos than just your NorCal ass.
Which ain't really out west. Kind of like in the middle of America, you know.
That's the South. I'm in the Midwest.
Which, that's a little closer. Like, come on, man. You can't get someone with some property out in the desert in Utah or Nevada or something?
Oh, yeah, because, there are people who already fucking pass out and almost die from dehydration in muggy areas. I've seen it firsthand in Indiana at Super Gathering. I almost had it happen to myself this past fucking gathering. And the last thing that we really need is people fucking dying from heat stroke trying to fucking camp out. You know what I'm saying? Camping out in the desert. Oh yeah, that'll work out just fine. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was pretty fucking bad for Oklahoma. Can confirm. Yeah, and Kentucky roads are fucking crazy too. I've noticed that. Let's see. It's also a good thing they didn't have the gathering in Colorado, because that year we've been in a bad drought for 20 years, so stuff would have easily caught on fire. And you know how we are with our fucking fireworks, fam. I live in Ohio, personally, don't give a fuck to say it. Dude, fucking, yeah, dude, fucking Ohio. There's only 2 reasons why I like Ohio. The gathering is one of them. The other is some of the juggalos I fucking know that live in Ohio. Other than that, fuck Ohio. Steel Cleveland, come down to Cleveland town, everyone. Under construction since 1868.
Or anywhere. Oregon, California, anywhere out here. You telling me you should be doing 2 gatherings per year.
Oh god, this is the dumb shit.
Mini gathering, damn it.
What an interesting concept. Mini gatherings.
Call it the mini gathering of the Juggalo, the West Coast mini gathering of the Juggalos.
Or you could possibly do what other juggalos have done multiple times, and I've been at these and I've heard about them in different fucking cities. Motherfucking ninjas used to create their own mini gatherings. Right. Mini gatherings have been going on for years. I mean, dude, back in the day, we used to do fucking, like, we used to use meetup.com. And we had a fucking mini gathering at a park, ended up having a fucking barbecue. We were playing fucking badminton, and we were, like, doing all, like, we were just kicking it. Like, all sorts of juggalos from Grand Rapids. Like, people fucking advertised for that shit. You know, you could possibly do something like that in your NorCal town. You could possibly do that up in your Bay Area, fam. You want a mini gathering so fucking bad, book your own fucking mini gathering. What an interesting concept. You know, something that people have been doing since 2001. I'm surprised that this has never come across your mind. Bro. But then again, you were in jail for 10 years, so I guess I can't blame you.
You know, and do something for us for once. Because
What?
mini gathering of the Juggalo, the West Coast.
Say that again.
Mini gathering of the Juggalos.
Say it again.
You know, and do something for us for once.
I can't scream. I can't scream. My mom will get mad. She will come down here in her nightgown and scream at me about screaming at the top of my lungs, so I can't fucking do this. Oh God, you fucking dumb motherfucker! Ugh! Why? Why are you so fucking stupid? Ugh. Oh, God, that hurt my fucking soul. Dude, why? Do something for us for once in your fucking life. Oh, my God. Are you... You are not serious. You cannot be fucking serious. You have any idea how much? Like, are you just talking about, oh, because it's NorCal, this is where I live, so you need to do things for us. Because you're doing 2 shows in SoCal, and you're not coming up here, so you need to do things for me. That is selfish thinking, bro. It is a lot easier to just basically say it is what it is. Or you could do... Yeah, I agree with you, Don. Yeah, the dude sounds incredibly fucking ungrateful for a lot of the stuff that that they have done for the Juggalo community as a whole. And it's like, you cannot be fucking serious. Like, he is saying this with that fucking dopey-eared fucking brainless fucking expression on his face, saying that shit with his whole chest out in 4K. Well, actually, his shit's not in 4K. Mine's close. Nevertheless, dude, you sound so fucking ungrateful and selfish saying that type of stuff. You know, you could just say, fuck it, bite the bullet, travel 400 fucking miles to one of these shows. You've got time. You've got what? 10 days? To save up some money and fucking hit SoCal. You got a car? Do some DoorDashes. Do some Grubhub. Uber Eats. Drive some motherfuckers around. Just don't talk to them about Juggalo shit and how you've been in jail for 10 years. Do what you gotta do. Save up some fucking money. You're gonna need probably about maybe $100 just for gas. Right? $100 on gas alone, depending on the kind of car you have. I mean, if you got a Prius, then that really helps out. Nevertheless, Then you just need what? $50 for a fucking ticket? You don't need to buy merch. That's fine. I mean, dude, I when I go to shows, I don't even take pictures most of the time. I try, but I just don't because I personally like want to try to enjoy the moment. That's usually how it is for me. I'll buy merch, but that's because I fucking save my money. You know, I got about $1,000 set aside right now. Almost $1,000 set aside just for Hallowicked alone. And that's on top of saving up money for my bills and, you know, car expenditures and all that other shit. And I still got almost $1,000 set to the side for the gathering. I've been saving up since the beginning of September. I'm sure that you can possibly fucking get a couple $100 in the next 10 days. Shouldn't be hard. Drive 400 miles. His face, the face you make when you pick up a poop dollar. Yeah. All right. How much is left of this? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fuck this, dude. We got more shit that we got to fucking talk about. All right. So, yeah. Enough of that shit. You know what?
I am a god, you dull creature, and I will not be bullied by that.
Puny god.
Shout out to Swill for making that. Oh, that's fucking great.
I am a god, you dull creature, and I will not be bullied by that.
That's my favorite.
Puny god.
Oh, dude, that's fantastic. Yeah. And that's kind of how I look at it. I think I might be 2-0 with this one. All right, so let's get into the next thing. So, Super Bowl coming up. Okay, we're out of Juggalo shit. We're going to be talking about some actual things. So we got the Super Bowl coming up and everything, and this was like a big thing that not this past Saturday, but a week ago. Bad Bunny ended up fucking being on Saturday Night Live, and he decided to talk about the Super Bowl thing when it concerned his, you know, he's been booked to perform at the Super Bowl. Even though he said he was never going to fucking perform in America as long as ICE is doing the things that it's doing. So it's kind of like end protest. Because I guess he claimed that he's afraid that ICE is going to be looming around his concerts waiting for illegals to fucking come on. And it's like, do you motherfuckers not realize that it's not just Mexicans? Okay? It's not just brown people that are from south of Texas or past south of Texas. Oh, God. Bad Bunny has cancer for my brain. This guy's there. I haven't even watched the fucking monologue, so I'm kind of curious about it, even though this might kill my monetization. But I want to hear what he has to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bad Bunny!
Oh, and by the way, like, I actually saw some video where, like, somebody was playing one of his songs, and the guy was like, as a Mexican, I don't even understand what the fuck he's saying, which is funny to me because, like, I had a conversation with somebody that basically said that, you know, like, when you have a difference between Puerto Rican Spanish, Mexican Spanish, border Spanish, proper Spanish, Spaniard Spanish, Ecuadorian Spanish, Portuguese. You know, there's all different types of fucking Spanish shit. So you could have two people that speak different versions of Spanish, and there's going to be certain things that they say that is not going to be understandable to the other Spanish-speaking person. I find that interesting. It's kind of like it's almost like, you know that movie Idiocracy, where, like, Luke Owens is, like, cryo-frozen, and then he's, like, 500 years in the future, and, like, everybody that speaks, it's kind of like a mix between fucking Valley Girl and, like, dumb slang and a bunch of grunts, right? And so it's like he could understand what they were saying, but whenever he spoke to them it just sounded pompous and faggy. That guy doesn't speak Spanish, he stutters. Oh God. All right, let's see the monologue. I'm curious about the monologue here. Dude, I just watched a fucking skit that he was doing and he was wearing this exact same outfit. That's weird. All right.
Thank you. It's good to be back. This is my second time hosting and my fourth time being here. I think Marcelo is getting nervous that Lauren has a new favorite Latino.
Oh shit.
I am.
This time I'm only hosting because I need a rest. I just finished a 31-show residency in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm still kind of tired because the show are 3 hours long and there's a lot of complicated choreography like this.
See, I do appreciate the fact that the man is taking a look at himself and kind of like making fun of himself. I can kind of appreciate that. Like, I gotta respect that, because like it's in a way it's kind of almost humbling, where it's just like, okay, you could take a look at your own defects and make light of it.
That looks simple, but that took me a long time to learn. Trust me. Anyways, my residency was beautiful. Everyone loved it. Some celebrities came to my show. Few of them were on drugs.
Okay, I'm waiting for the fucking joke, because I don't think he was making that up.
I don't want to say who, but this was John Hamm.
Okay.
Actually, that wasn't John Hamm. That was Juan Jamón.
Oh, sure, they just... whatever. Okay, yeah, so, like, that was a whole fucking setup for that fucking joke. Okay, get to the part about the Super Bowl, you asshole.
I think he's a little obsessed with me. But anyways, you might not know these, but I'm doing the Super Bowl halftime show.
Okay, good, because I was about to say, man, you're starting to fucking sound like Sammy Sosa trying to sell that Nintendo 64 commercial. Is so real. You remember that game?
And I'm very happy. I'm very happy, and I think everyone is happy about it.
Oh, like, yeah, just feed your own Delulu. I'm pretty sure that there are some people that are actually upset about it.
Even Fox News.
Bad Bunny is my favorite musician, and he should be the next president.
Oh, God. Okay, I'll admit, that's actually kind of funny the way that they fucking did that. That was actually kind of funny.
Wow, thank you. No, but really, I'm very excited to be doing the Super Bowl, and I know that people all around the world who love my music are also happy, especialmente todos los latinos. Todos los latinos y las latinas en el mundo entero y aquí en los Estados Unidos, todas las personas que han trabajado para abrir puertas, más que un logro mío.
Okay, now, I know he's doing that on purpose. Like, I don't understand a fucking thing he said. I don't speak Spanish. Like, I'm too white for that. Like, I fucking think mayonnaise is spicy. Okay, that's a terrible fucking long drawn out joke, but whatever. Still, nevertheless, I didn't understand a fucking word he said, but I personally think he might have done that on purpose, and the reason being is because, like, okay, so the rumor mill going around is basically that apparently MAGA is upset about the fact that he is performing at the Super Bowl and shit. Like, the majority of his stuff that he sings is Puerto Rican Spanish, and it's like, okay, yeah, that I fucking get. You know, I mean, there are some homies of mine who are very proud of their Mexican heritage. Shout out to said homies that live in the Bronx. Now, here's the thing, though. It's like, me personally, I'll put it to you this way. I don't care. Oh, he's talking about the immigrants who came illegally. Oh, okay. So here's the reality, though, when it concerns Bad Bunny performing at the Super Bowl. Personally, I don't care. I don't listen to Bad Bunny's music. I don't vibe with his shit. It's not my style, right? Like, I grew up on fucking metal. But then again, I've really been listening to a lot of Gigi D'Agostino. And I've been listening to a lot of fucking DJ Sammy. And a lot of 90s fucking dance music. And some 80s goth synth. You know, so like I'm all over the place. But like for every genre and every subgenre, there is going to be people that I listen to and people that I don't listen to, people that I fucking vibe with, and some people that I just don't fucking vibe with. And with Bad Bunny, is like I don't vibe with his fucking music. So I have zero reason to watch that fucking Super Bowl performance. At the same time, I used to watch the Super Bowl just for the fucking commercials. The commercials are starting to get fucking boring. It's starting to, like, to me, I feel like the commercials are starting to get a little fucking too political. I think the last commercial, the last commercial that I saw that I really liked at the Super Bowl was a Dos Equis commercial, I think, and it was because Jeff Bridges was in it reprising his role as the dude. The last time that I saw a halftime performance at the Super Bowl that I really enjoyed was when I saw Prince. And anybody who saw that performance, that specific halftime show at the Super Bowl, knew the magic that was there. When that motherfucker started singing Purple Rain, and it started to actually fucking rain, oh my god, it was magical. Now, what's interesting, too, is I also saw this post from, of all people, the Rude Boy. Now, if, like, for you people who lean to the right, you know that, well, everybody knows that Rude Boy leans to the fucking left. He hates Trump and blah, blah, blah. You know, he is very anti-MAGA. You know, that's his prerogative. It's whatever. You know, but he actually posted a post on Facebook that says, I don't hate the fact that, he's like, I'm not mad at the fact that Bad Bunny is performing at the Super Bowl, because of blah, blah, blah. I can't remember exactly what he said, but his ending was, I'm mad at Bad Bunny performing at the Super Bowl because he sucks. I shared this, and I actually said on Facebook, I actually have something that I agree with Rudy on. The first person that came across my shit was Fuego Flames. Once I saw that, my heart fucking sunk. Me and Fuego have been boys for fucking years, and he's going off on me because I shared that shit. Now, he saw it a little bit differently than I did, and I squared things up with, you know, so, like, me and fucking Fuego are still cool. I explained to him, like, I don't look at it like, okay, he explained to me that when he sees somebody say that Bad Bunny sucks, when Bad Bunny is, like, currently the most streamed artist in modern time right now. So to say that he sucks is kind of like, what are you doing? And I said to him, bro, it's not based off of the numbers. Like, Rudy basically is saying in his perspective that Bad Bunny sucks to him because he doesn't vibe with Bad Bunny. And that's why I actually fucking replied to that, because I feel that same way. Like, I don't vibe with Bad Bunny. I can respect the fact that he is currently the most streamed artist right now on all the music platforms. And he's like, okay, I can respect that. I was like, I just don't fuck with his vibe, you know? Like, I just don't fucking listen to it because it's not enjoyable to me. It's kind of like the same thing when somebody says, what has 9 arms and sucks? That's confusing, right? Until you hear the answer being Def Leppard, and then it hits you, you know? And I had an argument with somebody one time, like some booking agency, because somebody was saying that Def Leppard was going to be performing at the Van Andel Arena a long time ago, and I was the first person to respond to it, and I actually used that fucking joke, right? Now, the person that was moderating the fucking the page on Facebook started throwing out statistics and facts like multi-platinum selling artist, you know, this much money a year, been on the road for 30, 40 fucking years. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. But for one, not everybody is going to agree. Just because of these statistics and facts doesn't mean that they're going to actually vibe with it. Not to mention, I just kind of really like that joke and I thought it was funny. Didn't hear a response, but it's like, that's the reality. You know, just because he's the most streamed person, and not to mention, because of the fact that he is the most streamed person, unfortunately, for me, I guess, the rebel in me screams, I can't listen to him until he tones down. It's just that rebel in me, you know, where it's like that anti-populist music and shit like that. Like, I'm listening to artists that used to be huge right now. Like right now I'm listening to artists that used to be huge in like the 2000s and 2010s. It took me a long time to actually start to finally warm up to boy bands, right? And emo and pop punk and fucking even in the 2010s, like, you know, Little John and Katy Perry and Kesha. You know, like, I'm like, okay, now that the vibe is toned down, you know, like the popularity of these artists have toned down, I can actually give it a listen to and be able to make my critique on what it is without all of these people buzzing in my head, you know, and trying to whisper in my ear about who's hot and who's not. You know, it's the same thing with a lot of underground artists back in the day, you know. That's just how it is for me. And right now, maybe Bad Bunny might fucking vibe with me 5-10 years down the road when someone else has taken the fucking top spot. But right now, no. You know, that's just how it is for me. And both me and Fuego were actually able to see from each other's perspective. All right. So let's see, what are we saying here? Reggaeton is the worst genre of music that can exist on the planet. Now, keeping in mind, of course, you know, like, I could agree with you, but at the same time, you got to also remember, something like that is actually rather subjective. Because, like, that's just based off of your opinion. It's not, like, backed by science, you know. Bad Bunny is the same reason why TikTok exists. And don't get me wrong, I love TikTok. Like, I am obsessed with it. And that's another thing too, is like, I fought TikTok for a long time, fought using TikTok for a long time. Now I'm kind of cool with it. My homie Juan, his dad was selling kilo levels, and he always bumped that shit in the truck when we rode around with his dad, and Juan always was like, I'm sorry, dog, that you got to listen to this. Hell, I always dig the mariachi beats or whatever in that old school shit he was bumping for real. Macarena! I don't even know what Bad Bunny does, sings or raps. I prefer to live under rocks, though. Like, I got introduced. I think a lot of us got introduced to Bad Bunny when he was like, I never even heard of Bad Bunny until I saw him in a WWE video game. And I honestly did not even think that he was a real person until I started catching up on pay-per-views, and then I saw him actually fucking in one of the Royal Rumbles. And I was like, okay, this is a real person. Is he a wrestler? And then he's coming out to his own fucking music, and I'm like, does he do his own music like fucking, I don't know, Truth? And then it turns out he's actually a fucking musician. I'm like, oh, okay. That's kind of, it's kind of what it is. I see. So, but yeah, on the real, I don't care that he's fucking performing. I got Nintendo, so I know what I can do during during the halftime performance of the Super Bowl. And not to mention, like, the halftime performance of the Super Bowl, like, this is actually Bad Bunny's second time performing at the halftime of the Super Bowl. This is his first time headlining it, but the second time he's ever done it. The first time he did it, I think it was being led up by fucking artists like fucking Shakira and J-Lo. And then Bad Bunny kind of came out of nowhere. I was like, okay. I think, yeah, it might have been headlined by Jenny from the Block. I'm not sure. But let's be real here. When you've got J-Lo and Shakira sharing the stage, sorry, not sorry, but you're not going to be able to, Bad Bunny did not have a prayer in hell to be able to fucking get noticed in comparison to big booty Latinas. Now that is fact based on science. Because for the longest time, big booty Latinas, every white man's kryptonite. Got here late. Are you ordering the book, Crazy? I'm pretty over. Yes, I'm going to be ordering the book at some point. Either that or I might just wait until the show to see if it's there, and if it's not there, then I'll fucking buy it then. I don't even use TikTok. Seems kind of stupid the time I've browsed it. Dude, honestly, I love TikTok. And it's fun. It can be a fun tool. All right, let's see what else Bad Bunny fucking butchers in English.
Más que un logro mío, es un logro de todos, demostrando que nuestra huella y nuestra aportación en este país nadie nunca la podrá sacar ni borrar.
Translation. I think, yeah, brother, what up? I think I have a job for you. Summarize it, please.
And if you didn't understand what I just said, you have 4 months to learn. We have a great show for you.
No, sorry, but I already have an Ecuadorian friend who knows Spanish who can fucking hook me up. I just need the summary, really. But anyways, yeah, so like I said, I don't care. Now, on the other hand, I found out that Turning Point USA is also going to be doing a rival kind of Super Bowl show that is going to be going on at the exact same time as the Bad Bunny performance for people who are not interested in watching the Bad Bunny performance. I don't know what people are fucking saying about it, but I'm pretty sure that it has something to do with, oh yeah, this proves, does that, the footprint of Latinos in the USA, no one will ever be able to erase it. Nobody wants to fucking erase it. Like, that's fucking dumb. Like that, like the whole fucking, like his politics in this speech basically is just dumb. Absolutely fucking dumb. Speaking of, speaking of politics, There better be a full 2-page spread on Fat Fuck Barrel Boy in the book. Hell yeah, dude. Fat Fuck Barrel Boy is an absolute legend. Now, I did watch a couple of skits from that episode of SNL, and yeah, Bad Bunny is funny. And I also saw a video from, I think it was like Entertainment Tonight or whatever, and they were interviewing Adam Sandler, and at the very end of it, they were like, Bad Bunny's performing at the Super Bowl. How do you feel about that? And he's like, I'm happy for him. He's very talented, and I feel like he deserved a spot. I can't wait to see the performance. And I'm like, all right. Like Adam Sandler, like, were they expecting him to be like, he was in my movie, but fuck him, or, or whatever. No, I feel like that the answer that he gave was actually very in the middle and balanced. And so, like, that's an answer I can respect. Because, like, in this demographic, the way that our lives are being fucking run right now in this country, it's black and white. There's very little to no gray area. And it seems like both sides are kind of at edge. This is something that I've really been thinking about for quite some time. And it's like, it seems to me, and I actually explained this to my mom. You could have every fucking view that the left wants you to have, except, let's say, you agree with, pro-choice, you agree with socialism, you agree with free Palestine, you agree with all of these other things. But if you're pro-2A, oh yeah, you're a Nazi, fascist, bigot, homophobe, all the things. All the things that they try to fucking peddle your way to try to downgrade you and shit like that. And they'll basically force you out of the club, and then you'll either end up being MAGA or independent. Just kind of like my friend Kazoom. The video that I showed you last week, I saw a follow-up, and he basically ended up saying that there were some homies of his that said some things that made him question whether or not he wanted to continue considering himself liberal or a Democrat. Does this mean that I have to go MAGA now because you're pushing me out of the club? And he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to consider myself independent. I'm still a little bit left-leaning, but not necessarily giving my name. And I'm like, look, I don't care what the fuck you label yourself as. Like, I already saw the video where you basically condemned the celebration of the death of Charlie Kirk, so you're cool in my fucking book. That's the way I look at it. But since we're on the fucking subject of talking more politics, because let's face it, I feel like Bad Bunny being at the Super Bowl performing halftime, it's not even really about his talent. I feel like it's more of a political move, just to basically say fuck you to the right. But no matter what they do, you still got 3 years left, fam. And while we're doing that, Trump, while we're waiting on these 3 years, Trump is going to be doing everything he can to try to make America great again. And that includes peace in the Middle East. Because if you haven't fucking heard, oh look, there's Bad Bunny again, looking like he's having a fucking autistic stroke. If you haven't heard about it yet, Trump brokered a deal between Israel and Hamas. So I guess there's a big question that everybody's going to be asking now that Trump has basically he's working on the first of multiple phases, 20 of them I hear. So here we go.
We do begin with breaking news just a few seconds ago here. President Trump has announced Israel and Hamas have signed off on what he is calling the first phase of his peace plan. Trump making the announcement on his own social media site, writing in part, quote, "This means that all of the hostages will be released very soon, and Israel will withdraw their troops to an agreed-upon line as the first steps toward a strong, durable, and everlasting peace."
About fucking time, too. I think this shit restarted October 7th, 2023, and there's actually a couple of people who feel like that they have been scarred by this type of stuff. And I don't know if it's like just because Trump is in support of Israel that a whole bunch of people, specifically in Portland, I've been seeing more fucking Palestinian flags in Portland recently, but it seems to be fucking everywhere. I have yet to see Palestinian flags here in Grand Rapids. Most of the time that I see people protesting, it's usually fucking old fucks that are holding up signs that are like 6 months behind. Like there are still old fucks, old fuck leftists that are still holding up signs that say "No Kings." Like we got past that like a while ago.
Now, if this holds, it would bring the 2-year conflict between Hamas in Gaza and Israel to an end.
Goddamn
Kristen
right.
Holmes is out front live outside the White House, and Jeremy Diamond is in Tel Aviv live for us early in these hours of Thursday morning. I want to start with you, Kristen. What are you learning?
That my soul is fucking crushed, and I can't believe that Trump is winning. I don't know what to do in this situation.
Yeah, this is what the administration has been working towards since Donald Trump took office for the second time. This first part of this peace deal.
That sounded pretty bitter.
This was a 20-point peace deal, and right now we're looking at two of the key components, this idea of a ceasefire and withdrawal of Israeli troops, as well as the hostage negotiation and getting the hostages back.
Yep.
That would be in exchange for Palestinian prisoners that are currently being held in Israel.
I think that's like 1,600 people that Israel has, like 1,600 Palestinian prisoners. I'm like, okay, now I understand Free Palestine a little bit more. Because they have like 1,600 of them motherfuckers in Israel. And they only have like maybe 48 hostages in Gaza.
That we know Hamas almost immediately agreed to when they were looking at that plan. But we also know that Hamas has a number of other sticking points, as does Israel. Things that were listed in this peace plan included things like Palestinian statehood, which the Israeli prime minister has said is an absolute red line. But clearly, this is the first phase of all of this, and it is something that his team has been working on. It comes nearly 2 hours after we saw Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, walk into a room where President Trump was doing sort of a panel talking to various cabinet officials about
God,
Antifa,
CNN is so fucking
handed him
boring.
a note that said, we're very close, and we need you to look at a Truth Social or draft a Truth Social so you can be the first one to announce it. Clearly, President Trump was the first one to announce it, and this is something that both sides wanted. We didn't.
Okay, so basically from what I'm to understand, and let me see if I'm going to full screen this. So from what I'm to understand, they're basically what they want to do is I guess America is going to be the middleman in between this exchange of hostages and prisoners coming in and out of the Gaza Strip. So there's also like 3 different lines of where they are going to be working on. At the same time, there's also going to be cleanup, and there's also going to be proper food and food, water, and medication, and whatever fucking is needed to help out in the Gaza Strip for the Palestinians and Hamas. And so, like, that's basically one of the first couple of phases. But basically, I think what is going to happen is they are going to be allowed to move amongst the area freely. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean 100% that everything's fine and dandy and it's all sunshine and roses between the Israelites and the Palestinians. It just basically means that, okay, right now there's a ceasefire. Then the second thing is they're going to exchange the prisoners and the hostages. Everybody's going to get food and water. Then after that, it's going to be slow but sure building and cleanup. And so, like, they're going to try to over time, they're going to start rebuilding Gaza. And so at first, I believe I heard somebody ended up saying at first Benjamin Netanyahu was not willing to go with the deal. Like, he wasn't happy with the deal. And Trump basically kind of convinced him, look, this is a good deal. And they're actually agreeing with it, so let's fucking do it. But Benjamin Netanyahu, these motherfuckers have been going at each other for, decades now? So it's kind of, especially with what happened on October 7th, 2023, and then like something ended up happening before that. Like there was a peace deal that Trump was trying to do in 2020, and then another one earlier this year that didn't fucking fly, and now this one seems to be the one that is working the best. And there are some people who are naysaying it, thinking that Benjamin Netanyahu is going to fuck over Hamas again or something. Now, I don't know the full details of this whole thing. Like, for the most part, I've really just stayed out of this whole thing because of how much shit was going on between people who supported Israel and people who supported Palestine. And over the course of time, honestly, I'd say in the last 5 years, it started becoming a little bit more clear to me about who was supporting who. And maybe to me, it's weird though, because like there was not as many people that were supporting Palestine as I had seen during the Biden administration than there has been since Trump has taken over. Social media wise for years, been under a rock since MySpace. Fuck all that crap personally. I mean, yeah. Maybe it's just you getting old and maybe it's just you getting old in age and being like, get off my internet lawn.
Hear it from Israel. We didn't hear it from Hamas. All
right, so let's hear what the other guy has to fucking say, though.
So what exactly this looks like? Well, there's still going to be a lot of questions. We know there are roughly 20 living hostages. We also know they're going to be returning the dead hostages as well. We also know,
and the same thing with the prisoners.
This idea of Israeli withdrawal of troops. What does that look like? Is that everybody? What kind of withdrawal? What does the timeline look like? One of the things to keep in mind when you looked at that 20-point plan was that they said both sides had to agree on the timeline of withdrawal. We still don't know what that actually is, but this right here is the first phase that they are announcing in this peace deal, saying talks are going to be ongoing.
All right, Kristen, thank you very much.
I mean, basically, okay, I forgot I was supposed to do this. Now, basically, in my perspective, it's like, okay, it's not that I want to pick one side over the other because that's very black and white. I'm in that gray area where I'm just like, I'm with Trump when he said, I just want peace. Because people have actually asked him, like, are you pro-Israel or pro-Palestine? And he's like, I'm pro-peace. And I want peace. I want people... Hold on. He literally said it like this. I want people to stop dying. And I'm like, I'm with you on that one. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what shade of brown person you are. Stop killing each other. Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jackson had it fucking right with his bleached fucking skin.
And Jeremy, obviously the first phase significant.
I mean, I also, I know friends from, both sides of the aspect who are, like, I've got friends of mine who are in support of Palestine. I've got friends of mine that are in support of Israel, and I'm just like, y'all need to stop fighting. That's just basically all it is. What are we fighting for?
But when talks are ongoing and things like Palestinian statehood are still hanging in the balance, obviously that can mean everything. What are you learning?
Yeah, I just need to underscore what an enormous moment this is for so many people in this region, for the people of Gaza who have endured 2 years of war, for the families of these 48 remaining hostages who have endured 2 years of absolute agony. This is a watershed moment. President Trump announcing that the first phase of this plan will indeed move forward, and that means the release of all of these hostages, an initial withdrawal of Israeli troops within the Gaza Strip, and ultimately, what we have to think and believe based off of the president's tweet is that Hamas may have received some assurances about this actually leading to an end of the war. Every single source that I've been speaking with over the course of the last week has emphasized that the only scenario in which Hamas would actually agree to give up, to release these 48 hostages, without a total agreement on this 20-point plan would be if they received some kinds of assurances from the United States, from the mediating countries, that these negotiations that will follow follow the implementation of this first phase of this agreement.
Too many big words. I don't understand. I'm just a juggalo.
Of this 2-year war. And so we're already getting reports of celebratory gunfire in Gaza. The Hostages and Missing Families Forum has just put out a statement acknowledging the enormity of this moment for.
Oh God, dude, run on fucking sentence. All right, look, there are periods in that fucking paragraph. I hope you understand that. Now, and you should. You're a fucking journalist. So this is what it says on Wikipedia. On October 8th, Trump announced that Israel and Hamas had reached an agreement and signed the first phase of the deal. Under this phase, all living hostages are to be released in exchange for 2,000 Palestinian prisoners, including 250 serving life sentences within 72 hours, and Israel will also withdraw its forces to pre-designated lines within the Gaza Strip. The ceasefire went into effect on October 10th. So basically, it's within 72 hours after the agreement. And let's see, what was it? The paragraph before that. On October 3rd, in response to the proposal, Hamas agreed to release any remaining hostages in Gaza and hand over the administration of the Gaza Strip to a Palestinian body of independent technocrats, though it did not agree to disarm or forego influence in Gaza. In response to a CNN reporter's question about what would happen if Hamas insisted on remaining in power, Trump said the group would face complete obliteration. Now, I don't know if that's like where the standing population of the Palestinian people is just the Gaza Strip, but just basically imagine basically having to be told it's either you agree with this or you're going to get firebombed because there's nothing left in Gaza. Everything's going to have to be rebuilt. Everything's going to have to fucking be rewired so electricity can come in and all that other shit. And that's where all your people are. It's like, we're going to have peace one way or the other by all means necessary. And so they were just like, okay, we agree. Like, I'll give you a couple of days to sit on it and think, and they thought it over, and they were like, all right, yeah, we're down, bet. And so now it's like, okay, they're doing the first phase, they're doing the switch over, and then the Israelis are gonna be fucking pulling back, and there's like 3 different fucking lines of area that they're gonna be in. So like they're gonna the biggest area in the Gaza Strip is like the first phase, and that's where everybody's gonna be fucking doing the switch up at, and then like in the outer rim area, I think is where all the Israelis are gonna be, and then they're going to probably start rebuilding, bringing in food, bringing in water, bringing in medical supplies for people in that specific area. And then after that, like, they'll open up the next spot, and the Israelis will fucking pull back even further. And then phase 3 is going to be, them, all of the fucking Israelis going back into Israel, and then the full Gaza Strip, I believe, goes. I don't know. I don't know the full details of it, but it's probably going to be a long, drawn-out plan, and I hope that it fucking works. Now, there are some people that are online that are actually rather skeptical of it, and that would be the fucking Young Turks.
Just moments ago, President Donald Trump posted on Truth Social, "I am very proud to announce that Israel and Hamas have both signed off on the first phase," it's important wording, "first phase of our peace plan. This means that all of the hostages will be released very soon."
Okay, look, as much as I love to want to not listen to Anna Kasparian talk, fuck it. I'll just try to fast forward this and hope for the best, because, like, oh god, like, I hate that bitch, but fucking god, she's hot.
Egypt and Turkey, who worked with us to make this historic and unprecedented event happen. Blessed are the peacemakers. So I I am cynical because of how many times we have found ourselves in this exact same scenario. People seem a little more optimistic this time around. I don't really understand why, but maybe I'm just too cynical to see it. Let me give you a few more details, Cenk, and then, because you seem more optimistic about this than I am. And
which is interesting. Like, I find that interesting that she said that. Like, Cenk Uygur? Optimistic? About something Trump did? No, I'm pretty sure just like the rest of them, he's just fuming fucking pissed that Trump did something. So he's going to try to figure out a way on how to fucking swap this around in his fucking head to make it look like, oh, this is going to be a bad thing. What up, War? And what up, Side Alone, by the way? I saw that you were in there. But, like, okay.
I'm curious what you think. So Trump said Wednesday afternoon, meaning today, that he may travel to the Middle East by the end of the week as negotiations are going along.
Now, this was made 4 days ago.
Now, Hamas said that lists of prisoners to be exchanged were presented, and mediators are exerting great efforts to remove any obstacles ahead of steps to implement a ceasefire. And there is a spirit of optimism among all parties.
I mean, yeah, dude, like, take a look at the list of all the fucking countries that are absolutely down with this fucking plan. And after all of this time, Hamas is finally cool with doing this peace deal.
So that's new. I haven't heard that in previous ceasefire negotiations. Now, according to Newsweek, negotiators were continuing focusing on establishing practical steps for a halt to the fighting and the logistics of a prisoner exchange. Now, remember last week, I believe it was on Friday, Trump ordered Israel and the IDF to stop bombing Gaza. They have since continued bombing Gaza. More than 100 Palestinians were killed over the weekend. So Israel, this dynamic is just interesting because Israel doesn't really seem to care what Trump has to say. But Trump seems to have a lot of faith that they are participating in these negotiations in good faith. Hamas was seeking guarantees.
Well, I mean, I remember seeing it before where, like, okay, Israel ended up fucking doing some shit to Hamas, and he was like, they've been fighting for, like, you remember? They've been fighting for so hard for so long that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like, quote, end quote, by Donald Trump. Literally fucking said that in a report. And they've been fighting for so long, so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like, you've never heard a fucking president talk that raw. But, like, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was just like something that BB fucking did that just upset Trump for for like basically trying to fucking go after Hamas in some fashion. But it was just like he cussed him out on live TV.
Guarantees that Israel will not resume military operations after the release of all the hostages. And the conflict between Israel and Hamas has caused widespread devastation in Gaza, as we all know.
Okay, so here's how I think it's going to go.
I think I'm going to eat a fucking burger, and then I'm going to sit here and think with my thoughts. Cenk Uygur. Okay, so let's see how optimistic Cenk Uygur is about this fucking peace deal happening. I'm pretty sure some of y'all motherfuckers know how this is going to go. I mean, it's Cenk Uygur.
Number one, looks like they are going to get to some sort of deal. Some of the hostages will be released. Hopefully, all the hostages will be released. And after the hostages are released, the deal will totally fall apart. And the people who will violate it will be Israel. And why am I predicting that? Because
that's
what's happened literally every single time in the last 2 years. So, and then. And they will have an excuse, and they have a million of them. That's why Netanyahu initially tried to stop this peace deal, right? But then he realized that Trump was a runaway freight train, and that if he got in front of him, it was going to be a problem.
I mean, yeah, like at least that's something that Cenk Uygur said that I can actually fucking agree with. Yeah, he's a fucking freight train. He's going to keep going no matter what. It's either we're doing it my way or we're doing it my way. Not because he's the president of the United States, but because he's Donald fucking Trump. And if there's anybody that knows how the art of the deal, I would have to say it most likely is Donald Trump.
Right? In fact, there was at one point for the first time, maybe in history, cutting funding came up. Okay.
Oh yeah,
so
I
then
bet.
he's like, oh yeah, I said, yes, of course, send the billions of dollars. Okay. So, and then he realized, oh, what am I talking about? I'm using the hostages as an excuse. That's why I never wanted them back. That's why I tried to kill the peace negotiators. But I don't really need them as an excuse. I own American media and the politicians anyway.
Oh my God.
New excuse.
Oh my God. You remember how fucking Mel Gibson almost lost his fucking career because he got pulled over drunk driving and he ended up trying to say that it's the Jews' fault? You know, because the Jews are the are the reason for all the problems in the world. You know, the Jews run everything. You know, the Jews run all the fucking media. Gee, Jank, doesn't that sound a little bit anti-Semitic, what you just fucking said? Now let's hear it again.
The hostages as an excuse. That's why I never wanted them back. That's why I tried to kill the peace negotiators. But I don't really need them as an excuse. I own American media and the politicians anyway.
Yeah. The Jews have all of the media and the politicians in their back pockets. That's basically what he's saying. God, dude, that is like, and where the fuck, no, dude, stop fucking trying to pretend that you are a conspiracy nut. That's Republican people's jobs. Right, Warlock side?
I'll just come up with a new excuse. Oh, Hamas didn't surrender enough. Oh, you know,
the fuck? What?
Make up numbers. 10,000 of them turned themselves in, which just seems absurd. But okay, let's say they did that. But we know there's 20,000. Okay, 20,000 turned themselves. No, now we know it's 40,000. Okay, they turned in 5,000 guns. No, we know there's 10,000 guns. It's never going to be enough.
Gee, that sounds like a very leftist ideology right there. It's never enough. It's kind of like, okay, we want gay marriage. Okay, you got gay marriage. Okay, now what do we fucking bitch about? You know what I'm saying? It's like, we want gay rights. You have gay rights. Awesome. Now we want gay marriage. Okay, here's gay marriage. Awesome. Now what? We want to chop our dick off and wear a dress and call ourselves a woman. Dear God, why would you want to do that? Fascist! It's never enough.
Conveniently. So then they're going to go back to bombing Gaza and they're going to go back to trying to conquer more land. Now, so why be hopeful? Well, first of all, I want the hostages back, and I don't want Hamas to run Gaza, and I do want Israel to mainly withdraw. Okay, so that's supposed to be what's happening. But then if I think it's going to fall apart and Israel's going to betray it, why have any degree of hope? Because guys, my sense of it.
Like, let me ask the question though. Is like, why doesn't he want Hamas running Gaza? I mean, like, is it because they built a wall around Gaza? You know? I mean, I know that there's a lot of people on the left who seem to have a problem with walls.
And remember, it's like, I'm the guy who said that the right wing would turn on Israel a year ago, right? So they're, I've been a little bit right about this. And my sense of it is, when Israel comes up with a new excuse and then starts to devastate Gaza again, they're going to push it too far. That both America and the world are going to go, no, we can't stand these guys. These guys are obvious liars, obvious terrorists, and we're sick of it. You said you had a peace deal.
Okay, so I want to fucking bring this up with what Cenk just said, because I was watching a video prior to the show, and it was an interview that somebody did. They were interviewing a Holocaust survivor, and the Holocaust survivor was talking about the events of what had happened, like after October 7th, right? So like the UN representative of Israel and like the people that came with him in the middle of a meeting, ended up putting on the yellow Star of David on like patch on their fucking outfits. The yellow Star of David, the same thing that they used during the Holocaust to mark the Jews. And they were basically using that as a symbol. Now, basically, what they were trying to say was that Hamas was, the fucking war in Gaza was basically kind of almost the same shit as the Holocaust. And what he ended up saying was that by them using the Star of David as that some sort of symbolism, they were basically fucking dehumanizing somebody. But they were basically, like kind of using anti-Semitism as a shield. You know what I'm saying? So they were basically trying to say, like, in a sense, it's like you either support us or you're anti-Semitic, is how that dude fucking interpreted it. And so I think that that's something along the same sense of what Cenk here is fucking saying.
Starts to devastate Gaza again, they're going to push it too far.
Uh-huh.
That both America and the world are going to go, no, we can't stand these guys.
So basically what he's saying is like, okay, what he's accusing Benjamin Netanyahu of doing is basically using that anti-Semitism as a shield in order for him to do whatever the fuck he wants so that way he can attack Hamas and just obliterate the fucking Gaza Strip just to get the fucking land back. And anybody who's against the idea of Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel doing that is anti-Semitic against the Jews. But in a sense, it's like, okay, in Cenk's perspective, if what he says is true and that actually does happen, it's not even going to be a matter of anti-Semitism. It's just going to be, no, like, you broke the fucking peace treaty. We all agreed on this, and you decided to go independent and break it. So we're not going to support you. Fuck you. Good luck. May the best of all of your future endeavors. So in a way, I can see Sweaty McForehead over here. I can see his point. But I am hopeful that he's wrong and that this actually will fucking go through.
These guys are obvious liars, obvious terrorists, and we're sick of it. You said you had a peace deal. Where's the peace? When are you going to finally get the hell out of Gaza, right? And if they think they're going to trick the whole world again after this peace deal, I think they're wrong. And I think that there will be consequences. But
and they will never be the same.
There's no way they're going to listen to this deal. I've never seen Netanyahu follow through on a promise in my life.
Well, I mean, the one thing that is definitely changing is this, control of the means of communication among Americans who have been voicing their criticism of Israel.
So like I like the fact that Anna Kasparian is actually trying to see like the silver lining in the bad situation. Even with the way that fucking Cenk is picturing it, she's like, well, here's a different angle. Which really says a lot of things about her, because like there have been a lot of things that have changed with Anna Kasparian's fucking points of view over the last 5-10 years.
If Israel reneges on the ceasefire, which I think is a perfectly fine prediction to make, and I agree with that prediction, is that information going to be accurately shared with the American people? I do worry.
They can't stop it. That's what I'm saying, Anna.
Yeah.
In the old days, they would have just had all their clowns in mainstream media go, oh no, Hamas broke the ceasefire. Israel is so innocent and lovely, and they're the victims. They're the victims.
Okay, look, douche fuck. Do you not realize that a vast majority of mainstream media is run by the left? The only support that fucking the fucking Republican Party really has as a whole is Fox. That's it. Like, bro. I don't know. I feel like that's very fucking delulu on his part. Like, it is very delusional to think that, like, the Republicans have a more favorable set of media backing. I mean, for the most part, all we really have is Fox. Seems Reddit's definitely ran by the left as well in just the little time I've been on there. Dude, Reddit is primarily left. Tumblr is fucking left as hell. TikTok, there's a battle. Like, based on like whatever you're finding on your algorithm on TikTok, it can be left leaning or right leaning. YouTube used to lean primarily left until they fucking announced publicly that they were basically coerced by the Biden administration. Same thing with X. Same thing. Well, when it was Twitter, we found out about that when it became X. Same thing with Facebook and Instagram. It was very left leaning. They were told that like, if you were to talk about, like, things against the left and the Epstein list or Hunter Biden's laptop, that you were practically fucking shadow banned. Anything that was pro-right leaning fucking propaganda was throttled. And that's mainly the reason why platforms like the Young Turks flourished during that period of time, and platforms like InfoWars got fucking banned. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he wants to fucking try to say, oh yeah, like a good chunk of the mainstream media is in favor of the right. No, bullshit. It's still the fucking left. We're just coming back, and we're coming back a little bit more prominent. Sucks to suck, I guess, but it is what it is.
They'll shout from the rooftops. They'll still do that because they're still bitches for Israel, right? But the internet is on fire. I just did a right-wing show today. They all hate Israel, okay? So everybody hates Israel because Israel's rubbing our faces. Oh, yeah, I'm going to...
What right show are you talking about? Pierce Morgan? Like, Pierce Morgan is a centrist, and he always fucking speaks in devil's advocate. It's just that when your fucking sweaty brow is constantly screaming at people on that show, it comes off to you as a right-leaning show.
Slaughter kids. What are you going to do about it? Give me your money. Give me your money, okay? And they go, oh, okay, but why? Why do I owe you another $300 billion? Why do I owe you a genocide? AT7, ruin him, destroy his life, right?
See, I was right.
Sick of it. We're sick of it.
By the way,
okay.
I mean, yeah, like I like, if anything, like, this is one of the main reasons why I never really said that I was pro-Israel or pro-Palestine. I've never fucking even talked about it on this show. This is like the only time, because of the fact that there is now a peace deal in the situation. Now I can fucking interject. Because, like, that's one of the things. It's like I said before, I got people, I got friends of mine who were in support of Palestine, and there were some people who were in pro fucking Israel. And I'm just like, look, can't we all just get along? Like, they were fighting for so long, so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Neither one of them.
Okay.
I hesitate.
And, I don't want to be fucking accused of being an anti-Semite, but I also don't want to be accused of being a fucking racist that hates brown people. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't want to make it come off like I'm a fucking Islamophobe because I'm in support of one over the other. And I don't want to come off as an anti-Semite because I'm one over the other. I'm Switzerland in this situation. Just fuck off and figure it out.
To even tell you.
Or kill each other. I don't care. Fucking obliterate two fucking, like, long-lasting groups of fucking people completely off the face of the planet, I guess. I don't want to fucking think that.
This because I don't want it to, like, spark an epic rant because we got to move on. But
Oh, it's going to, though.
Netanyahu recently
Look at
had
who
an
you're
interview
talking
with
to.
Ben Shapiro, and in the context of that interview, he said that Israel shared the Iron Dome with the United States.
What?
Yeah.
We gave that to you, bitch. Let's take it back. Let's take it back. He's misusing it. He's misusing it. And look, if you don't give me a thank you, okay, not me personally, America, a thank you, no, we should definitely take it back. And we should get our $300 billion back. Hey, when's our special ally ever gonna give us the money back? Why do we constantly need to give them? Why is there like nonstop, America, you owe Israel. Shut up, or otherwise we'll ruin your life.
Okay,
right?
I immediately regret my
No, I'm saying it. Okay, look, guys, last thing. Okay, I'll stop there.
No, I'm just gonna you just go to sleep. All right, at this point, go to sleep. You go to sleep. Now, here's another one that I saw, which was honestly, I would have to say this upcoming video is my favorite fucking Democrat, and I'm not saying that like. I'm not even saying that fucking half-assed. Like, I'm not even being fucking snide with it. This is literally my favorite fucking Democrat in the Senate. Fetterman. And he ends up fucking talking about not just the thing with Israel, but he's also fucking talking about what's going on with this government shutdown. Because we've been shut down for quite a while, and to be perfectly honest, I think this has been another one of Donald Trump's wet fucking dreams. Basically, because like he's been able to do a lot of things because of this government shutdown. And it's unfortunate that there's a lot of people that are in the government right now that are still working and not getting paid, even though it's like, okay, some of them are getting furloughed and the ones that are getting paid are going to end up getting the money once the shutdown's done with. But it's like the Democratic Party is just being dicks about this shutdown. Instead of fucking doing what should be the most logical solution, which would be, look, just agree to the shit, and then we can work out the things over the next year, which is basically what the Democrats had done 13 times previously, and this is all over the fucking budget of the country. But anyways, here's Fetterman. Mr. Hoodie.
Welcome back. Well, we just heard from Vice President J.D. Vance about the path forward in Gaza as the first phase of President Trump's peace plan is in effect. For reaction now to this historic agreement, we bring in Democrat Senator from Pennsylvania, John Fetterman.
He's got a white hoodie this time.
Staunch supporter of Israel. Senator, good to see you this morning. Thanks so much for joining me.
Oh, thank you for having me back.
What is your reaction
this dude is cool.
to this plan and these expectations that the hostages will begin to come home tomorrow?
Which, yes, technically it starts Monday. Is when, they might actually be doing it right now. And I don't know, you might pause if you actually have interest in this stuff, then, outside of listening to me yammer about it, then I'm pretty sure that you can watch something going on live.
Absolute elation. I mean, how can we all celebrate this thing? I mean, you've had human beings held underground for over 2 years and tortured and beaten and starved, forced to dig their own graves and things. Now they can finally come back home. And now everyone should be celebrating.
See right here, they're prepping.
And clearly the Palestinians are, and people in Israel are too. And now there are people in our nation, some of those aren't really celebrating or even acknowledging a thing. And that's part of the truth there too. It really was never about peace. It was more about.
So like right there in Tel Aviv on Saturday, they're holding up a big tarp right there. Like Israel is in favor of Donald Trump winning the Nobel Peace Prize. And there was actually another video that I had that I don't know, did I forget to fucking download it or something? I don't feel like I did. Yeah, there was another video that I was supposed to fucking download. Huh. But anyways, yeah. So like, apparently, like and Trump was considered for the yeah, Trump was actually considered for this. Oh, there it is. All right. So while that's going on, let's just go ahead and listen to Fetterman talk while I get this set up.
An anti-Israel agenda, and now why can't we all, whatever where you are politically, this is a huge development, and this terrible, awful war is going to come to an end.
Yep.
And now you can rebuild Gaza, and these families are now reunited. Like that's a big thing, and it's a strange time if you can't celebrate this.
Yeah, and I saw your tweet, congratulating President Trump on this incredible moment in time. It really is a head scratcher, as you see some people just refusing to acknowledge what an incredible moment this is after this 2 years.
Yep.
I agree. It's
like literally.
I said that in my tweet. It's like, yeah, our party's different, but this is a big, huge win for peace in this world.
I mean, like, this is literally all I ask for, you know what I'm saying? Like, fucking... let's see. Shit, yes, I dropped back in just in time, brothers. Crazy, you gotta spill your piece on this. My mind has been blown in the last couple of weeks. Israel runs the world, you can't tell me otherwise. They have blackmail on all the world leaders, and society is gone because of it. Thoughts? I can't say that I agree or disagree. I don't really believe in superpowers like that, because that literally falls up there with like Illuminati and stuff like that, and I literally don't believe in the existence of a superpower like that. So like, and to me, I just find the idea of Israel being the ones to fucking control everything sounds absolutely fucking asinine. I can't talk about what I think or believe personally in a YouTube chat. I'd be banned. Now, I mean, like, everybody's free to to believe whatever it is that they want, but at the end of the day, only one of us is really going to be right. But the way I look at it, it's like, okay, I could possibly see earlier, like what we were hearing Cenk Uygur say earlier. I could see the possibility that Israel is going to possibly do whatever the fuck it is that they want to do and blame anti-Semitism for anybody who disagrees with it. But it's like, okay, look, it's about what's common sense and logic. And so if they were to fucking turn their backs on the peace deal and bomb Gaza or attack Palestinians again, well, then the rest of the world is basically going to say, you know what? Fuck you. All right? Funding's cut off. You're not getting anything. You're on your own with this. And basically just let them fucking do what they're going to do. Uh-oh. Something's happening. Uh-oh. I ended up getting an error. What the hell's going on? Okay, so it's claiming buffering, but my fucking frame rate has not dropped, so I don't know what the hell. I bet you I'm being throttled because I'm talking about such a huge fucking thing right now. But it's like, okay, it's an important situation. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, yeah, let's bring this up.
and it's entirely appropriate to do that. And if you're not willing to acknowledge that, you're ironically pointing out the absurdity and making it more personal when we can't all celebrate this peace after this awful war after 2 years.
Yes, of course. And I feel like that sentiment also applies to the government shutdown, because with the government shutdown, you are talking about fighting about Obamacare subsidies that are going to expire at the end of the year, but you're seeing a real impact. We're worried that people are not going to get paid on October 15th and on October 20th. Is this all political as well? Because remember what Senator Schumer said just this week. Watch this.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Yeah. Each day, our case to fix health care and end the shutdown gets better and better, stronger and stronger, because families are opening their letters.
What the fuck are you talking about? Dude, in that suit, you look like... Oh, my God. The way that he's standing, he looks like a discount Larry King. And to my surprise, his glasses are actually where they're supposed to fucking be. Like, right up to his fucking eyes. Wonderful. Okay, I think, yeah, it says that we're good now. Anyways, so... He says that the longer the shutdown is going, it's every day it's getting better and better for the Democrats. Bro, you have all the Republicans that are agreeing with like the basics. And they started with Fetterman being the one Democrat. And now there's 4 Democrats that are in favor with the Republican Party. You need 5 more, I think, in order to get 60 votes. So what can you do other than convincing Republicans to join your side of the argument when they want just the standard benefit? They're not going to fucking give you this $1.5 trillion for your fucking pet project of giving illegal immigrants fucking health care. And you're trying to spin it as if it's not, you're trying to spin it as if it's not going to be fucking health care for all of the legal citizens. It's going to be for all people. Remember what Maxine Waters said? All people. And they're like, no. Why should we give free shit to people who don't necessarily belong here? Simple enough as it is. I don't understand why that's so fucking difficult to decipher.
Showing how high their premiums will climb if Republicans get their way. They're seeing why this fight...
Wait, what?
Watch this.
Hold on.
Yeah. Each day, our case to fix health care and end the shutdown gets better and better, stronger and stronger, because families are opening their letters, showing how high their premiums will climb if Republicans get their way.
Dude, if Republicans get their way, then nothing happens. Simple as it gets.
They're seeing why this fight matters. It's about protecting their health care, their bank accounts, their futures.
Senator, how is it possible that a government shutdown where we're questioning if our military is going to get paid is getting better and better for the Democrats?
Well, for me, it's a hard rule. It's like I can't ever or will ever vote to shut our government down. It was wrong if the Republicans did these things. And I led that charge back in March saying it's wrong to shut us down. And we kept it open.
I remember that.
Now we are. And now I've said then back in March that when September comes, I'm going to be the one guy that's saying it's wrong to do this. It's really the losers. The losers are these poor Americans here that are going to get caught in the middle of this thing. Now, I fully support, let's have a conversation to extending those tax credits. I think a lot of Republicans might even agree with that too. That's a priority for us, and they might agree. But, let's have our government open and have that conversation so people can get paid, and we can't have this kinds of chaos.
I fucking agree with that one because like I've got family that's in the military, and some of them are probably on active duty. I don't know exactly because I haven't talked to them in a while. It's been a long time since we've actually had family get-togethers and shit. But nevertheless, though, it's like, okay, I know that there's a lot of people that are being affected by this shutdown, and it just seems to me like, the Republicans don't want the shutdown. Fetterman doesn't want the shutdown. It seems to me like the only people who actually want the shutdown are Schumer and AOC, and everybody else that's kind of just like riding the fucking wave. It's like there's very little fucking leaders in this situation. A lot of these people that are in the Senate office are kind of followers.
Well, it seems to me that this is going to go on at least another week. I was told that the leadership, Chuck Schumer and others, want to make sure to be able to get up at that No Kings rally and say, we're fighting Trump. I mean, is that what this is about?
There's another one?
I mean, I'm really not sure. It's
probably because you're not in the fucking circle, Fetterman. Like, I get it, like he wants to be like Fetterman is basically doing everything that he can to try to basically be like I am the true definition of the people's Democrat. And everybody else is kind of just like on the verge of social economics or like socialism basically because that's what the left seems to want nowadays.
what's really part of it more than, like it's not about who's losing or who's getting more of the blame or anything. Like for me, what I really cares about is it's a core responsibility for me as a U.S. Senator to vote to make sure and keep our government open, and then we can figure out all these other priorities. That's democracy. That's democracy. Shutting our government down, that's the wrong message for the world, for Americans.
I agree.
Well, I don't care whose that blame is. It's not about a blame game. It's about open this government, have this conversation, and really let's address these kinds of healthcare issues as well too.
I mean, personally, I think that the only reason, like literally the sole purpose for these senators to fucking shut down the government is basically to try to stick it to Trump. That's literally it. Like, there's no other fucking reason. Like, back in the day, we used to joke about Trump derangement syndrome. Like, as if it was a thing. But between a lot of the people that are in this country and people that are in the Senate, people that are in the House, Trump derangement syndrome is like we've manifested this thing into an actual thing. Like it's not even a joke anymore. And these people believe their own fucking tripe to the point where they're just, no, we're going to demand money, and if we don't get the money that we demand, then we're shutting everything fucking down. Nobody in the military is getting paid, and anybody else that's fucking military, except the senators and the House of Representatives and the fucking people that are running in the White House. Those people in that direct branch of fucking, those direct branches of government, they're still getting paid. But like like the lower tier people, like our military, they're still working, not getting paid, and their only hope is to fucking guarantee that once the government turns the government, once the government gets turned back on, then everybody's going to get paid back pay. Like, no, fuck that shit. Keep it going and debate later. Don't fucking shut this shit down because you're not getting $1.5 trillion for your fucking pet project. You're hurting people. And you're trying to make it sound like it's everybody else's fault. The fucking, like, the Republicans were the ones that just said, no, we're voting it in this fashion to not shut down the government. Let's talk about this later.
And you've led with that independence throughout, trying to represent the people of Pennsylvania and America. How do we reopen this government? Do you see a catalyst that gets them back to the table to reopen? What's your sense?
Oh, it is going to be difficult because then I think there's people perhaps on both sides are putting party in front of country. And
Yep.
for me, my vote has been, it's like, hey, and now I understand, my party may want to shut our government down. That's like, I'll be a Democrat saying, hey, that's wrong. Just like we all agreed it was wrong when
That's
the
why I like him.
Republicans were going to shut it down. Like I have that core kinds of ideal, and I'm not going to violate it. That's why I'm choosing country over party on this. And I know what might be more popular with parts of my base, but I think it's wrong for this nation.
See, that's the reason why I like John Fetterman. Like, a lot of these fucking politicians in these positions seem to forget their place and that they are supposed to be representations of us. And they're basically trying to act more like parents. You know what I'm saying? That to me is where the problem lies in this, is that they're trying to fucking treat us like we, the fucking common folk of this country, are their children. No, you are supposed to represent what it is. Like, we hire you, we vote for you, so that way you can speak on our behalf. Because the country is really ours. Like, like John Fetterman is supposed to represent all of the Democrats that are in the state of Pennsylvania. And so by voting, he's voting in favor of what the country wants, not what he wants, not what his party wants. All of these other Democrats forget their place. That's the situation, and basically a vast majority of this country is fucked because of it. So I know that this is like we got like another 3 minutes of this shit, but it's like whatever. Oh, by the way, Big Will, thank you for posting that racist fucking message in the chat. I'm not deleting it. So thank you for that. Anyways, yeah, so let's talk about this next thing. Now, if you saw at the very beginning of this video, like in Tel Aviv, they were holding up that sign that said, Trump Nobel Peace Prize and shit. And Trump was up there to, like he was up there for what he's doing with, with what he's doing with Hamas and Israel. It was looking like he was getting ready to fucking do that. Instead, they ended up giving the nomination, or actually giving the Peace Prize, or setting up to give the Peace Prize to this Venezuelan woman who is basically in the fight of ending socialism in Venezuela and trying to make the government a better situation in Venezuela, even though she's only fighting for it and nothing has changed. But she ended up getting it because I guess the person who sends out these fucking peace prizes didn't feel like what Trump did was deserving enough. To me, it just sounds like this dude has bitter feelings over fucking Trump, and that's the real reason why. However, this I thought was interesting. The woman who won the Nobel Peace Prize dedicated it to Mr. President. Yes, it is a Fox video.
Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado winning the Nobel Peace Prize for risking her own safety in the name of restoring democracy in Venezuela. But amid this celebrations, she's decided to dedicate the award to President Trump.
Boom.
Who responded yesterday. Watch.
See, I think that's actually pretty fucking cool. And she'll actually explain exactly why it is that she dedicated it to Trump. Anyway, here's Trump.
It's a great honor to be involved with somebody. So the person who actually got the Nobel Prize called me and said, I'm accepting this in honor of you because you really deserved it. A very nice thing to do. I didn't say then give it to me, though. I think she might have. She was very nice.
See, I like this.
I've been helping her along the way. They need a lot of help in Venezuela.
I mean, basically, Trump's pointing out, it's like, okay, that's fine. You would think okay, with as egotistical as Trump is, and yes, I'm a Republican, and I am a MAGA supporter, and I like Donald Trump, but I also know how big Donald Trump's fucking ego is. You would think that ego would have overridden this shit, and he would have been petty and been like, I should have had that fucking shit. Fuck that bitch. You know, like that kind of attitude, because that is the attitude that you would expect from Trump. Instead, he's like, no, it's cool. You know, because basically he's not doing that. Really shows that he's not doing this fucking peace deal with Israel and Hamas for the sake of getting a Nobel Peace Prize. It doesn't matter to him. What matters is he wants people to stop dying, as he said when he was fucking running for president before he won.
Indeed, they do need help, and indeed, he has been helping. And we are honored to have Maria Corina Machado join us, the new recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize. Maria, welcome, congratulations, and tell our viewers why you decided to dedicate this award to President Donald Trump.
Because he's the shit, that's why.
Thank you very much, Rachel, and to all of you for what you have done for Venezuela. And they decided to dedicate it to President Trump because he deserves it. Because not only has he been involved in only a few months in solving 8 wars, but his actions have been decisive.
Like, think about that. He's ended 8 wars since he took office, right? He has stopped 8 wars in less than 1 fucking year. And according to the fucking voters for the Nobel Peace Prize, that wasn't enough for him to get the Peace Prize. It's kind of funny to me.
To have Venezuela now at a threshold of freedom after 26 years of tyranny that have destroyed the lives of millions of Venezuela, destabilized the region, and undermined the institutions in the United States, because having Venezuela as a safe haven of the enemies of the United States and using our territory and our resources to hurt the American people and American institutions is certainly a threat to the national security of the United States and the security of the hemisphere. But President Trump has been very clear, courageous in terms of dismantling this criminal structure. And on behalf of the Venezuelan people, I reaffirmed our gratitude.
You know those fucking boats that have been coming out of Venezuela that are full of drugs that Pete Hegseth has been dropping missiles on? Like, I think that's what she's talking about.
And our commitment to this cause for the whole America. So I insist he deserves it. And we are very proud to be working at this moment with all these allies for this huge resolution.
You know, Maria, for those, I mean, President Trump, along with, he launched this war on the cartels, this war on narco-terrorist dictators, especially Nicolas Maduro, who's sort of that.
Yeah, real, actual fucking dictatorship in Venezuela. Think about that.
Head of.
And yet, this woman, who is fighting dictatorship and socialism in Nicaragua, wins the Nobel Peace Prize and dedicates it to Donald Trump for the things that he has been doing to help out with Venezuela, as well as ending 8 fucking wars in this year. So when people like Heil here is saying, fuck Trump, are you saying that you want that war? You want those fucking drugs? You want socialism and dictatorship to fucking run rampant through the world? You know what I'm saying?
This snake of this network that is poisoning our people, but torturing yours. I mean, the resources that he, the revenue from his drug running and also the oil, he's using that to build the gulags that the activists who are opposing him are now under. Can you explain to our viewers what has happened? What has changed in Venezuela since this war on the cartels and on narco dictator Nicolas Maduro was launched?
Well, I would say that everything is changing, Rachel, because a new hope has arisen. Because we realize Maduro, the whole world knows Maduro is totally illegitimate. He lost by landslide a presidential election last year, even though it was absolutely scam fraudulent. And since then, he's been seeing terror, in waves of persecutions. Thousands of Venezuelans, innocent Venezuelans, are in jail. Hundreds have been tortured and disappeared, and millions have been forced to flee intentionally.
I mean, that does explain, some of the other things. Venezuelans having to flee the country and shit like that. You know what I mean?
But now we realize that we are not alone. And this criminal structure, because as you said, Maduro is the head of El Tren de Aragua and the head of El Cartel de los Soles.
They're telling me I got to go, and I have to ask you this because there's been a major development that has not been reported much here in the United States, which is that personnel and families from the Russian embassy in Caracas have left. Is that true? What can you tell us about that? Have left the embassy in Caracas. What does that tell you?
What?
That is true, and it's absolutely revealing that members of the families of Russian officials in the embassy have left the country. That's been an information that has been confirmed. And what it shows is that Maduro is totally isolated. Even those allies that used to support him realize that time is over. And at the end, Maduro has period.
Oh yeah, so their fucking president is practically fucked at this point. Or I don't know, president, prime minister, what the fuck? Well, yeah, whatever. Their leader is about to have his head on a fucking fork if he doesn't give Trump every last thing that he wants. Bro, like it's either he's going to do that or the Venezuelans might just actually fucking start up an insurrection. See, like to me, this is something that the people ought to be fighting for. Especially I think Venezuela is definitely shining a beacon on that type of shit. Not this petty, I'm not getting what I want and I was never told no as a child, so I'm gonna fucking storm bullshit in fucking Portland crap.
And as we say, in order to have peace, we need to have freedom. And in order to have freedom, you need to have strength. And that's precisely what President Trump, his administration is doing, not only in Venezuela, but around the world.
I thought people in our country were fucking saying that everybody across the world is fucking laughing at Trump and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of fucking wild to me. Like, this woman is praising Trump like a motherfucker. Like, if I didn't know any better, he could possibly grab her by the pussy. 10 years in prison for making music is wild. Yeah, no shit.
And that's why we're entering a totally new era for the hemisphere.
Well, Maria, we congratulate you. We think your gesture to President Trump is magnificent.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like, 89.
And very inspiring.
That their leader is going to get got.
Best of luck to
mob
the
boss,
Venezuelan
yeah.
people, and thank you for confirming that information on Russia. I have to imagine there were lots of negotiations been going on over the last few weeks on all parts in Ukraine and Israel. There's lots of stuff happening, and I believe that Venezuela was a part of that in some way with this Russia move. So thank you for confirming that. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you. We will prevail. Thank you so much, Rachel.
You got it. Thanks, Maria.
Okay, so that's very uplifting. Now, granted, yeah, like I guess I'm basically gonna fucking end it like this because I did have some other stuff, but like I've got pretty long videos that we can fucking that I want to what, fuck it. I'm just gonna end this segment. We'll watch a couple more things and then after that I'll fucking call it. So basically, I'm looking at it like, all right. Maybe in a way she could possibly be deserving of it, and Trump is not being a sourpuss about not winning the Nobel Peace Prize. He's just doing his fucking job. Something like that is just kind of like the benefit, if anything. So it's like, okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Trump about to install a whole new government down there. I mean, first they got to fucking break the dictatorship and the socialism part of it and all that other stuff. Like, this woman was basically saying that people are fleeing out of the country for their fucking lives, and a lot of the stuff that's going on is kind of just like in the wrong. Now, here's the thing though, like, okay, when it concerns like Portland and this peace deal and the shutdown and all this other stuff, it's like, okay, I'm looking at it like this, all right? And I've seen people fucking talk about this before, so I'm gonna full screen this just for the sake of it. So I've been seeing people fucking say this, and I kind of agree with this sentiment, where it's like, the Democrats here in our country, they demanded free Palestine. And fucking Trump was like, all right, bet. Here's a fucking peace deal between Hamas and Israel over the Gaza Strip. We freed Palestine. Okay, cool. Now what are you going to bitch about? Oh, Trump's up for the fucking Nobel Peace Prize. Ah, he didn't got it. He didn't get it. He didn't get the fucking Nobel Peace Prize. It goes to this woman. Right? Ah, there's your gotcha moment. Okay, well, now she's dedicating the Nobel Peace Prize to fucking Trump because she felt he deserved it. What are you going to bitch about now? You're running out of things to fucking bitch about. Don't you ever fucking just take a look at yourself in the mirror and just start to think, I'm being told to fucking hate Donald Trump? Like, do you ever fucking think that? Do you even ever think? Or do you just say fuck Donald Trump because, you know, that's what you've been indoctrinated to do for the last 10 years? I would say, if anything, this peace deal with over the Gaza Strip really shows that he's just actually trying to fucking help out with shit. Now, you could possibly take a look at what's going on concerning ICE and shit, right? The only reason why people are fucking arguing this shit is because Trump's fucking doing it. And they spin this fucking narrative about the whole fucking immigration deportation thing. And they try to say, oh yeah, well, they're deporting anybody who has a thick Mexican accent. Like, no, I'm pretty sure that Tom Homan is a little bit smarter with how he's fucking doing this shit, because I think he's been on and off fucking doing like ICE shit for a while. So he kind of knows what to fucking look for. Not to mention, there has been immigration and deportation for illegal immigrants all across the fucking board. Every other country fucking does this. I can't stress that enough. We are not going to be different from other countries by just having open wide fucking doors and letting in whoever. Because I recall an event that happened roughly about, I want to say 24 years and a month ago, where something like that happened because, well, we invited some people that shouldn't have been invited. And an event happened that involved 2 buildings and an airplane. And I think I said this last week, and I'm going to talk about it again, because I'm starting to think that there might be certain people who are either too young or too naive to understand the importance of that fucking event. You know what I'm saying? I was in high school when fucking 9/11 happened. I remember the fucking panic, and I also remember that that was an event where it didn't matter if you were, you know, red shirt, blue shirt, didn't fucking matter. We were all Americans, and we were all united under one banner. Now the thing about that is, that's what Trump was talking about when he talked about the enemy within. Because if you have open borders and you don't have fucking checks and balances on who you are allowing into your country, the reality is you don't know what you're bringing in, what problems you're bringing in. That's why we have certain checks and balances. And when you've got motherfuckers that are just coming in willy-nilly, that's a problem. All of a sudden, you end up having drug dealers and fucking sex traffickers, you know, that are like fucking selling women and children for fucking sex and fucking giving fentanyl to people while people are fucking overdosing on it. Or, you know, because I'm pretty sure that we wouldn't have had that scare at the gathering of the Juggalos over a fucking squirt gun if this wasn't an issue. I wouldn't have been accosted by some rando old guy because I was spraying water out of a fucking smart water bottle at people because it was too fucking hot to consider anything comfortable. So I was doing my best to have fun and cool people off. And then I got yelled at for fucking squirting people with a water bottle. You know what I'm saying? So maybe we should fucking calm down. Play some video games or some shit. Or hell, let's watch a video that's about fucking video games. I actually came across this and I thought this was an interesting video. It's basically a race of the most sold game consoles over the course of 40 years. This is actually very fun to watch. So, this is done by Global Stats, and it starts off in February of 1983. You can already see these are the video game systems that were out during that time. Atari by then, because Atari came out in 1977 with the 2600, and by 1983 it had already sold over 25 million fucking consoles. Mattel came out with the Intellivision, not even a fucking margin. Then you've already got the 5200 that came out in 1983. In Japan, Nintendo's entertainment system was already selling 500,000 fucking units. At the time, this was just the Famicom in Japan. And ColecoVision, which, by the way, out of all of these systems, the only one I don't have is the Intellivision. Now you can just watch this growth.
My son Boris has a missile command problem. My mission in life is to save all of mankind.
So you can slowly see, like, there is a battle at this point between ColecoVision, NES, and Atari 5200 really wasn't that big. But Atari 2600 was still top notch. But the reason why the Atari 5200 wasn't selling so well is because of how big and bulky it is. And I'm sure that did not help. Like, dude, there was a fucking controller that had a roller ball on it that was as big as the fucking Atari 5200 itself. And despite the Atari 2600 having downgraded fucking graphics as opposed to the 5200, which I have actually played Pac-Man on both the Atari 2600 and the 5200, the 5200 is by leaps and bounds the better product. It's just their fucking hardware was shit when it concerned like controller use and shit. And by this time, Intellivision has already dropped out by February of 1984. ColecoVision and Atari are still doing its thing. Keep this in mind when it concerns the Atari 2600. Watch as this grows. So as you see, Intellivision has already come to a dead stop. Nintendo is now starting to surpass the ColecoVision and now the Intellivision. And this, by the way, with the NES, is still in Japan. They didn't come to America until 1985. So, in Japan, the Nintendo Famicom has already superseded how many ColecoVision systems have been sold. And now it's slowing down, and it stops at 3 million. Then we have January 1985, and the Sega Master System comes into play. Atari 5200 has come to a screeching halt. Now, also, they forgot one other system, which was the Atari 7800. But yeah, so Sega comes in. Nintendo is leading Atari's still leading the pack, and Nintendo is growing because of the popularity that came in with regular Nintendo in America.
Television. It's a lot more fun and the bigger challenge you are.
Hey, look, there's a game. There's Astro Smash, which is actually one of my favorite fucking games on the Intellivision, next to Shark. So, yep, and we're now in August of 1986. Atari 2600 is still growing strong, but Nintendo is catching up fast.
No game plays the same way twice.
Sega Master System's having a hard time in Japan and in America. But look at this, 1987 and Atari is still fucking kicking. Now we have the introduction of the TurboGrafx 16, another system I own. And now there's two systems in this list that I don't have, the Intellivision and the Sega Master System. Nintendo is already at 10,000, almost 11 million units sold by 1987.
There are Intellivision games for everyone in the family. Space games, sport, battle action, learning games, and even games of chance.
But yeah, now we got 4 fucking contenders.
Game system in the world today. The only system designed to keep pace with tomorrow.
And Atari 2600 sales are starting to decline.
Play Intellivision first.
And now we have the Sega Genesis or Sega Mega Drive in conjunction with the Sega Master System. Now this is not including any system sales involving the 32X or even the converter that the Sega Genesis had where you could play Master System games on it. Those aren't counted as units. It's just the Sega Genesis itself. Look at the level of growth in the Nintendo Entertainment System. It's catching up quickly to the Atari 2600. Rob! Alright, so TurboGrafx 16 and Sega Master System have surpassed the Atari. The Sega Genesis is on its way, though. Now, keeping in mind, the TurboGrafx 16 and the Sega Genesis are the first two systems to come out with 16-bit graphics. You still have the Sega Master System? I need one. I'm planning on getting one once I get shit caught up and taken care of. Once I have a better flow of income, it's on like all the Donkey Kongs. I'm going to get that, I'm going to get the Intellivision, and then I'm going to start upgrading all my shit. But yep, there we go. Atari has now officially been surpassed. Now, keeping in mind, Atari started in 1983 with 25 million units sold between then and 1977, and it only took 4 years for Nintendo Entertainment System and Famicom to surpass Atari, and it's growing at such an astronomical rate.
First to raise the incredibly accurate zapper and play games like that.
And the Sega Genesis is about the introduction of the Game Boy / Game Boy Color, the Game Gear, and the Super Nintendo all in one fell swoop at the beginning of 1990. And the Sega Genesis is about to surpass the 5200.
First to build a library of
Alright. TurboGrafx just passed the Intellivision and the Coleco. Master System just did the same thing. Ooh, yeah! Look at this. The Game Boy is coming in hot. Now, you remember how fast the Game Boy came in. Now, part of the reason why the Game Boy came in hot was during its release in America, it came bundled with Tetris. And there was that whole thing that happened with Tetris due to a lot of licensing issues that Nintendo won. You can actually watch something about that with what happened. Let's see, Norm, the gaming historian, has an hour-long documentary about it. Really recommend watching that. All right, so Super Nintendo is coming in slow because there's still life available in the Nintendo Entertainment System. But it's going to start picking up. Game Gear is at low numbers right now. Look at how fast the Game Boy's coming in. Like, the Game Boy ended up having such fast growth because everybody loved the idea of gaming on the go. That's why the Game Gear is starting to slowly peak up too. But the Super NES is just about ready to surpass them, and they just did. Game Boy is coming in hot still. Nintendo is still fucking hot. The Game Gear just surpassed the Intellivision. And the Super Nintendo, in such a short amount of time, just surpassed the Sega Genesis, even though the Sega Genesis, I believe, still has like 3 or 4 years ahead of the Super Nintendo.
The power is Nintendo. Defend the planet Xephus against the evil Mother Brain. It's survival or
But basically at this point you can clearly see what's about to happen. Game Boy is about ready to surpass the Atari 2600. Super Nintendo is well on its way. It's in 4th place right now. Sega Genesis is now in 5th place. At this point, there's no possible way for the Sega Genesis to meet up against the Super Nintendo. But now the Game Boy is just getting ready to surpass the Atari, and Super Nintendo is along its way. Now this right here was during the fucking console wars of the early 90s, because it was all about blast processing versus whatever the fuck Nintendo had. But yeah, so the Sega Saturn has now been introduced in 1994 in Japan. The Sega Master System, by the way, if you've noticed, like the Sega Master System should have stopped a while ago, but to my surprise it has not. And I found out why that is. Because even though they stopped selling the Sega Master System in Japan and in the United States, while those two countries were focused on the Sega Genesis and the Sega Saturn, and a little bit of the Game Gear as well, the Sega Master System was still selling in places like Brazil. There's actually a huge fucking market for the Sega Master System, more in Brazil and a lot of South American countries than here in the States. But here the TurboGrafx 16 is about to get passed by the Game Gear. Boom. But look at this shit. Nintendo's dominating the fucking market right now. The top 3 are just Nintendo. Sega is doing everything in its power to try to come in. Now we have a new contender in the PlayStation. And the PlayStation's coming in hot as well because $299. You know what I'm saying? But look at this, it's coming in strong. Just past the Atari 2600, like all of these are just going to get blasted by. But while the Super Nintendo's still fucking going strong, the Nintendo 64 is about to come in along with the Game Boy Advance. I believe in 1997. But the Sega Saturn's still coming in hot because right now it's hitting the American release. And now passing the Sega Master System. There's a Nintendo 64. Okay, the Sega Master System's about to hit past the TurboGrafx 16. PlayStation's coming in hot and heavy now. Boom, boom. Damn, 3 in a row, 4 in a row. Just like it ain't shit. The Sega Genesis is still fucking going. Game Boy, look at Game Boy. Game Boy is about ready to pass its own fucking system. Like like the Game Boy had a resurgence with the Game Boy Color, and Pokemon was also a major factor in this as well. Because by 1997, that's when the Pokemon craze started. Now we've got the Dreamcast coming in. And the Dreamcast didn't work so well. It just came to a screeching dead fucking halt in 2001, I think. But yeah. So, boom. Alright. Look at PlayStation just... And Game Boy is now at the top of the fucking list. Nintendo Entertainment System has finally stopped in 1997. PlayStation's coming in hot. Super Nintendo's still fucking growing. Dreamcast is at a slow crawl. The Sega Master System is still fucking alive, but it's being surpassed by the Nintendo 64. PlayStation's about ready to dominate. Boom. Just past Super Nintendo, but then again 32-bit graphics as opposed to 16-bit. And now it's getting ready to surpass the regular Nintendo. Alright, Dreamcast is now almost at 4 million units. Sega Master System is still going. The Game Boy is almost at 100 million units available or sold. That Game Boy was everywhere, boy. And, you know, having a Game Boy Color, and then also there was like the Game Boy Pocket. Like the Game Boy Color was really just a save face because it used less batteries, and it also had color display. Still the same sound, still the same graphics, and they were able to fucking work its way around. Then you also had the Game Boy Pocket, which was a smaller unit. And then you also had like the Game & Watch version of the fucking Game Boy. There were like many variations of the Game Boy, and everybody that's a collector had to get them motherfuckers. So now the PlayStation 2 has officially come into play at the beginning of 2001. And here's the Game Boy Advance coming in. And one of them just got knocked off the fucking... the 5200 just got knocked off the shit. Here comes Xbox coming in hot with 3 million. The Sega Master System is still fucking going. And we're at 64-bit systems, and the Master System is still fucking going. Game Boy is almost at 100 million. PlayStation is fucking killing it. Super Nintendo finally stopped at 49 million. Now, the Nintendo 64, I believe, did not succeed in that fashion. But at the same time that the Game Boy is going, the Game Boy Advance is coming in hot and fast. GameCube, while at the bottom, I know is going to knock some of these motherfuckers out. Surprisingly, the Dreamcast is still fucking going, but even more surprising, the Sega Master System is still fucking going. Now, here's something that I found very interesting I'm going to tell you about in a minute that I'm seeing here, is the fact that the fucking Xbox, right? You would think that it would surpass Atari at 30 million. Just wait, because right here we got the Game Boy, we got the GameCube coming in, beating those motherfuckers down, passing the Sega Master System. Game Boy finally fucking stopped. PlayStation is at over 100 million. PlayStation 2, look at this shit. What up, Collectibles? Much love to you, brother. GameCube is rising up. Up here comes the DS. DS fucking blew it out of the water and probably makes it so the Game Boy Advance slows down. But now PlayStation 2 just beat PlayStation 1 at 102.5 million. And now it's about to surpass the fucking Game Boy. But it had a 2,000 plus library, bro. Now at the same time, the PlayStation 3's coming in. Now look at this shit. As I was mentioning before, you would think the Xbox would have been popular enough to fucking surpass the Atari 2600 because everybody loves Xbox nowadays, right? No, it stopped 25 million units. 5 units less. It died quicker than a lot of these other systems. Now, a couple of them that I've also missed, the PlayStation Portable, the Sega Mega Drive's still going. I'm pretty sure, the Sega Saturn fucking stopped. Shit. Here's the Xbox 360, and I believe it's another console war between Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 at this point, because this was a format war between those two. But then you've got PlayStation 2 still going fucking strong. And if anything, I'd say the PlayStation 2 is probably one of the most heavy-hitting fucking systems. You got the PSP coming in hot. You got the DS coming in hot. Like, the Game Boy Advance is still going. PlayStation stopped at some point. Yep. PSP's about to surpass Super Nintendo, and here comes the fucking Wii. Yep. Yep, there's so many other systems that are fucking coming in. GameCube finally stopped at 21.8 million. PlayStation 3's coming in hot. Like, it's almost neck and neck with Xbox 360. But at some point, there's... the Sega Mega Drive is still fucking going. And it looks like I think that the Sega Master System was still going, but by this time, it's like pointless to fucking point it out because it's never going to hit 21 million. But the Sega Genesis is still fucking going. That's a shock. But meanwhile, PlayStation 2 is slowing down in numbers. The Nintendo DS is about to fucking pass the PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2 dominated for a long fucking time. But the Wii is also kicking in because Wii was for everybody to play. Not just kids, not just adults like the PlayStation 3. But now, look, PlayStation 3 is starting to slowly catch up to the Xbox 360, and it just passed it. Sega Mega Drive is still fucking going up. Here comes the 3DS. 3DS was another one of those things, but like, to my surprise, the Nintendo DS did not surpass the PlayStation 2. See, it makes sense that it would pass the Game Boy Advance just due to the fact that the Nintendo DS could play Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games on top of the Nintendo DS games. However, fucking, like, later versions actually made it so you couldn't put Game Boy Advance games at the bottom of the system, which made it so it made it more difficult to play games like fucking Pokemon Diamond. The Sega Genesis is still fucking going here in 2014. Once again, it's the different systems. Up, here comes the PlayStation 4. PlayStation 4 has now officially entered the chat, already surpassed the Atari. Look, this is the growth. This is the absolute growth of how these systems are going. And the Sega Genesis is still going when it stopped production. Like, you would think that they stopped this production majorly in Japan and America in the middle of the in the 1990s. Here it is, September 2016. Sega is still selling Sega Genesises.
For those that leap into battle.
But look at this shit. Nintendo DS stopped a shade, 1.1 million units less than the PlayStation 2. Is there anything else that could top the PlayStation 2?
For the drivers that compete
Because the closest one right now is the PlayStation 3, which is kind of sort of neck and neck with the Xbox 360. Here comes the Xbox One coming in hot. Here's the Nintendo Switch right off the rip. Launch date, it's now neck and neck against the Xbox One. PlayStation 4 now has officially surpassed the PlayStation 3. Xbox 360 is still fucking going, but at a slow fucking crawl. 84 million. So I guess that says that the PlayStation 3 won that format war. But the PlayStation 4 versus the Xbox One versus the Nintendo Switch for that generation. Where's that fucking going? Because PlayStation 4 has already fucking surpassed shit. The Xbox One stopped at 42.99 million. The Nintendo Switch is still fucking going. PlayStation 4 is just running roughshod. And the Sega Genesis finally fucking stopped. Alright, now the Nintendo Switch is coming in hot. Because at this point, all that's left now is, okay, we've got the PS4, the PS5, the Switch 2, and the Xbox Series X. But I don't see the Xbox Series X anywhere. It's going to have to knock out the fucking Sega Genesis in order to be put on the fucking map. But the Nintendo Switch is starting to fucking come in super hot. It is growing at an astronomical rate. There's the PS5. Okay. The Switch is still fucking coming in. Oh, it looks like it's about to pass the Nintendo. Oh, damn. So, as of May of 2025. Hold on a second. Let's go back. So, yeah. Okay, let's go back to it. May of 2025. That's where we're sitting at right now. These are the top. Nothing has surpassed. I'd say that, if anything, PlayStation 2 most sold system dominates the fucking market. Nintendo, which, yes, I will say that it was a much superior fucking product. And I fucking lived with that bitch. Loved that motherfucker. Like, that was my CD player, that was my DVD player, my PlayStation 1 and my PlayStation 2. The Nintendo DS was very integral when it concerned, like, the Pokemon craze and shit, because the touchscreen was fucking dope. I'm surprised, though, that not once did you see the Wii U in this entire list. I'm surprised that the Nintendo 3DS only sold 72.89 million fucking copies. Like, the Game Boy Advance sold more than that. Mainly because, you know, the SP looked like a flip phone. I mean, that's basically what my phone is. It just looks like an SP. But yeah, I'd say that this is damn good accuracy. But the Nintendo Switch, we're still in the midst of it. And the Nintendo Switch is still fucking going. Even though, like, it's a crossover right now between the Switch and the Switch 2. And not very many people, I think, are buying the Switch 2 as of right now. So, you know, like, this is going to have to get updated again at some given point in time. I'd say that this is a very satisfying list as far as I'm concerned. But then not only do we have that, but we also have the best-selling video games. And that's where we'll fucking cut it off. Or maybe we should just wait until next week. We'll watch that then. As a matter of fact, I think that's going to be the case because it is almost 1 o'clock in the morning my time. And I'm going to get the fuck up out of here. I want to say thank you to everybody that came in watching, participating up in the chat. Some of y'all gave me some mad fucking love. And I appreciate y'all motherfuckers for that shit. So, got to give a shout out to Cali Green 2 Fresh for that $2 boy. Juggalo Collectibles with that $4.99. And What Up with that $4.99. I appreciate you motherfuckers for doing the damn thing. So I'll be back next week. We'll watch the best video games sold next week. And who knows what the fuck else is going to be done within the next 7 days. It's been insane as far as I've been seeing it. But hopefully, there won't be a whole bunch of political drama. What the fuck am I talking about? Of course there's going to be. But whatever, it is what it is. And there might be a particular dead horse that I'm going to continue to beat because petty. All right, I'm out of here. You guys have a good one. I'll see you next week. Deuces.